Happy birthday to the Slice of Gaming podcast. That's right, everybody. We have turned 1 year old. That means in 20 years we'll be able to drink. And joining me today on this very special podcast, I'm the Uncharted Wolf. We are joined by the guy who's going to get us our cake, Bench.
I'm not getting cake for you.
What?
You're keeping
That's
that cake.
crazy. That's crazy.
That other voice you just heard is the real person getting me the cake. It's Fusion.
Yeah, I'll get you the cake, man, and ice cream if you want it. We might as well go the whole 9 yards with it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And then we got the guy in the corner with a red cup drink, not talking to anyone. We got Dark.
Hey, how's it going?
That's
That sounded
insane.
so much meaner.
Let's
That
all
was
let
so
out a big
mean.
sigh because Dark is here.
That was
I,
so
I love
mean.
when Dark's here, bro.
I
Someone
like him.
someone has to like put our expectations in the chat. They bench.
That's insane.
Yeah, but that doesn't work.
Oh,
Listen,
we
we'll
know.
talk all about expectations. We got a pretty small news week. Not a lot came out, but we have a very fun topic celebrating our 1 year. That's going to lead to hopefully a very civil discussion. Probably not. If you want to check us out, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere podcasts are caught. Like the podcast, helps us out a lot. Follow us on Twitter at a slice of gaming. Check out our other content. We're gonna get some more videos coming here and there. But let's get into our news. First news story. As I said, very small news week, so we got a pretty small story here. Not a lot to go over. Nintendo to buy Shiver Entertainment. Now, I would not be remiss to if you don't know who the hell that is. VGC has this article. Andy Robinson. Nintendo agrees deal to buy Hogwarts Legacy Mortal Kombat Switch Studio. Shiver Entertainment worked on the recent port. I realized that the headline makes it sound like, oh man, they're buying the guys who made Mortal Kombat. They're buying NetherRealm. It's like, no, no, no. The guys who ported it. Nintendo says to fully acquire Miami-based Shiver Entertainment. Nintendo announced on Monday that it's entered an agreement with Shiver's current owner, Embracer Group, to acquire 100% of the company's outstanding shares to make it a wholly owned subsidiary. Since its establishment in 2012, Shiver has worked on porting and developing software such as Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1 to the Nintendo Switch. By welcoming Shiver's experienced and accomplished development team, Nintendo aims to secure high level resources for porting and developing software titles, it is said in a statement. And I have a very simple question. Does this purchase kind of signal Nintendo really wanting to desire go forward on these third party ports, more of these like Nintendo Switch 2 ports, maybe porting their older Nintendo Switch games up-res and whatnot? Is this kind of a move in that direction?
Yeah, I think they definitely wanted someone who's knows their hardware to the point where they can kind of like do some impossible tasks and move some first party games and enhance them for Switch 2, and also just have something available to third parties where they can help from their point of view. So I think this was a pretty smart purchase, to be honest.
I mean, at the same time, have you seen what these ports look like? Have you seen the
I
Mortal
mean,
Kombat port?
you could say that that's Embracer. That was their decision to make them as shitty as possible. It is
That
not
Mortal
in
Kombat
regards to
port is
talent.
insane.
Yeah,
I
no,
hear
I've seen it.
11
But also look at that Mortal Kombat 11 port. That is a perfect port.
and Hogwarts is pretty good, I hear.
Hogwarts is a good port. Those are ports that are like technically kind of insane. Like when you
I
think
think the
about
most
what
insane
those games
port
are
on the
pushing.
Switch is the Doom port. But who did that? I'm not sure who did that one.
Big red button.
They should have got those guys
I
if possible.
I mean I think Shiver's still a pretty good pickup, especially if they can get more oversight on them as Nintendo. You get
As long as they don't
Nintendo.
do the Mortal Kombat quality ports, they'll be fine.
I don't think they are because I mean like you have Nintendo oversighting it. They're gonna make sure like we're not releasing a port that's called Mortal Kombat 11 when we own the company because it was very much an Embracer a WB decision to release that MK11 port way too early when it
You
was not
mean
ready.
one?
One, sorry, because that was a day and date port if I remember correctly.
It was.
Yeah, so I'm very curious where they go with the studio. They again, there's not a lot to go off of because this is basically just like a random press report. It is just the thing where like they do not buy developers. It's actually highlighted in the press report where before that company's last acquisition was Next Level Games in 2021, and then before that was Monolith in 2007. So it is a kind of a blue moon for Nintendo to actually purchase a studio. This is not something that they do. I mean, they still have, they don't own Intelligent Systems, aka the guys who made Fire Emblem, Paper Mario. like major Nintendo IPs, WarioWare, all that. That is not Nintendo. Like they do not own them. Which and HAL Laboratory, that's the Kirby studio. They don't own them either. So yeah, very curious to see more of what we could see porting wise. What do you guys think is going to be like kind of the showstopper Switch 2 port where like, kind of Wolfenstein and Doom was that for year one on the Switch? Like what's the port that they released with the Switch 2 that's like, oh shit, the Switch 2 can actually run like modern games?
If the leaks
Cyberpunk.
are real, it's gonna be either Cyberpunk or Elden Ring.
Leaks? I don't know about those leaks.
The ones that we covered a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think there was any leaks about those
We
titles.
never covered them.
No, the rumored leaks about what the specs of the Switch 2 are going to be.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I think
Yeah, if
You
those
honestly-
leaks are true, because we don't know if they're true or not yet. If they're true and the Switch 2 is able to handle those type of games, it's gonna be Cyberpunk or Elden Ring.
I think
honestly
it's gonna be
though,
Call of Duty.
I don't think Elden Ring is pretty surprising because I think it can run unquestionably on those specs. But I just think that boils down to if Bandai Namco just wants to do it because they could have done a lot of other Souls games, but they haven't. So that seems more of like a
They
them
did the Dark
problem.
Souls
than a-
remastered.
I know, but that's
that's
like
the thing.
to the
It's just
extent
they
of
only
it.
did one. That's what that's just
Yeah.
saying.
But I think Cyberpunk is definitely possible because we know CDPR was pretty happy with however The Witcher sold on Switch, so it wouldn't shock me if that's something they want to do because they've also like optimized the crap out of it for Steam Deck, so they're already done handheld development with that game. And if this it kind of rivals the Steam Deck or is a little better, then yeah, I think it can work pretty well.
Imagine that marketing. Hey, it runs better on Switch 2 than PlayStation 4. It's like, damn, okay. Fusion, you said Call of Duty?
Yeah, I think Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I
they did
agree.
have that big thing during the FTC trial about wanting to get Call of Duty on Switch, or at least saying
That's
they
not
were.
having wanting. It's like they have to do it.
And it's like, well, yeah, they did Warrior under oath for 10 years. So, but it's also just the fact that like, yeah, if these specs are as powerful as a PS4 and like Xbox One, the new Call of Duty this year is still on old gen. Like Call of Duty can still run on a PS4, Xbox One hardware. Maybe not perfectly, but it can still do it. So like, I could easily see Switch 2 finally being able to be like, hey, Call of Duty's over. And now I feel like Call of Duty would be awesome on the Switch 2. Like that could bring in.
Oh yeah.
Especially when there's no
so
voice
many
chat.
players.
It's gonna be peaceful.
Oh yeah, especially when you won't be able to like hear the
You gotta
voices.
connect the Nintendo voice chat app on your
Yeah,
smartphone.
okay.
Dude, I always, what's funny is that I always like made fun of them for that, and also, I mean, I still like it is pretty stupid that you can't voice chat in games. But I'm also like, damn, I kind of don't want to voice chat anymore in games. Like, I got Discord. I don't need to like talk to these randos on Splatoon.
Or Tune.
It will be something to monitor throughout the week. I do agree with Bench. I think Elden Ring's probably going to be the big port, depending on how FromSoft wants to do that.
Bench wasn't even the one who said that.
I was.
That's the
Don't-
guy. Lynch always gets the credit. Don't worry.
That's insane.
Thought it was Bench. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was.
You guys
You
said
said
the
After
Cyberpunk.
dark.
Moving on to our next story. One thing that we've been kind of arguing about throughout the week, a lot of splitting of hairs, I'll just say the least. It's literally just titled "What's Going On with the Sony May Showcase," and I got a couple of things here. Nate the Hate Insider says Sony's May event is still on track, but I expect it to be a state of play early next week. And I should also mention that Jeff Grubb also said this on his podcast that it could very well be either a showcase or a state of play. He just knows something Sony event wise is happening in May. And another
Frauds.
thing that I want to point out is Wario 64 has a new Astrobot game expected to be announced within the next 15 days, according to Deal Lab / Billy Kun. Part of
Yep.
the game is set in a desert environment, and one of the new characters is a fennec fox in the form of a robot, seemingly for PS5, not PSVR 2, because they want this game to sell. Anyways,
He also said 15 days for Concord news.
yeah, 15 days for Concord, 15 days for Astro. It's seeming that there's some type of PlayStation event. I just gotta ask, guys, what's going on? Fusion,
It's a
you're very
showcase.
passionate. Bench is very passionate that this is a showcase. He keeps saying it. I want to point something out. They always announce showcases a week before. Next week is the end of May. So,
New
I don't know.
leadership. New changes of
New
policy.
leadership, they just got there.
Like,
They could have had some things change fast. There's new leadership. Just policy changes could have happened very fast. And
What
unexpectedly.
benefits them to make it less than a week, Bench?
Because if it's a week, you raise expectations for a very long time, and if it's a day
You
or two,
want
then
it to be
Wouldn't you want that for your
expectations raised.
PlayStation Showcase?
what happened last May? That happened and it sucked.
Yeah, well, that
This
was a
time
state of
they're gonna
play
have
that they got
stuff.
bullied into calling a showcase.
That is the rawest thing I've ever heard about that showcase. It was a state of play that got bullied. I mean, listen, there's been a lot of heat in the air. Fusion, you were talking a lot about this. You do not like how Sony messages this stuff in
No,
regards to how they handle showcases.
I don't like how. For one, I don't like how much we've been in the dark with PlayStation for it seems like since the PS5 is launched. Like they did so well for the PS4, and then even the year right before the PS5 with the showcase in May and September, and I get that was to hype up their new console. But I feel like since probably 2021, the last 3 years, we've been so left in the dark. And it's this whole showcase versus state of play thing. We never know which one it's gonna be because for PlayStation, granted, Nintendo also does direct and mini directs, but I feel like the mini directs are still a lot better normally than what a PlayStation state of play is compared to a PlayStation showcase. And it's the thing with PlayStation State of Plays is they haven't all been terrible. Some of them have been really good, and all the showcases haven't been the best. Granted, 90% of them, other than the last one, every single showcase has been phenomenal. Like Showstoppers, Wolverine, God of War, they've always been there at the showcase. So a showcase is 90% success rate. The State of Plays are 50-50 where you never know what you're going to get. We could get a state of play like we got in January, which I thought was really good with Death Stranding 2 and Judas, and I think a Resident Evil type thing was there. That was awesome in January for a state of play. Still, a lot of people didn't like it, especially if you weren't a Death Stranding 2 fan. You were like, whatever, it was fine. But then you have state of plays like last year in November, where it felt like it was just a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of Square Enix filler, and a bunch of just random games that have to hey, we have to market this before it comes out. Let's just throw it into a state of play. State of play either feels like we're throwing a bunch of games in the market real quick, or we're going to actually show you PlayStation games. The thing that state of play sucks is we don't have a true idea if a state of play is going to give us first party. We can guarantee first party at showcases. You can't guarantee first party at state of play. And PlayStation has came out before in the past and tried to set expectations and have said, hey, this state of play, we won't have any first party. This is third party publishers around the world. They have said that. So maybe in a few days, if they announce the state of play and they say, hey, we'll see first party and third party, it can be more exciting. But at this very moment, if it's a state of play, I have to be in the mindset of this is just going to be third party partnerships around the world with Sony and PlayStation, and maybe an Astro shows up or maybe a Concord shows up, but I can't guarantee it like I can guarantee on a showcase.
Yeah, it's just really comes down to state of play is just I like the idea of state of plays. I like having video game showcases, every few months. But the problem is one, they're not really at a there's no real release cadence for it. You can't predict when a state of play is gonna happen. You just gotta hear some insider report of oh, this and that. I bring up Nintendo, but they always have a direct, usually one in February, one in June, and then one in September. That's been their release cadence for directs for years, and it only gets shifted if one, a COVID happens, which not their fault, and two, with Switch 2 is happening. That's how there's been substantial changes in the way that they're marketing their games. But PlayStation, I don't know what the substantial change in how they're marketing games is, other than our games aren't ready, which is just I want to point out we literally don't know what over half of the studios at PlayStation are doing. They're first
Yeah,
party studios, and it's where's the showcase to tell me that?
and I think something like what you brought up with Nintendo's scheduling. I think Nintendo is also very strategic with how they place games, and they just have a lot more games, which means they can talk a lot more. To be
Yeah,
honest,
exactly. Yeah,
but
that's
I
the thing. It's
think
Sony has 20 first party studios, so
No, I think we're down to 16 or something now.
my god, down to 16
Yeah,
makes me so
we have
sad.
lost studios and not gained them.
yeah,
They
I think
we got Blue Point a few years back, but even then, few years
and
back.
and counting on those 16 or 17, 2 to 3 of them are support studios, mixes and like
Yeah.
PC port like truly first party. Hey, we're making a new video game for Sony. We're not. We're like at 15, 14. Like compared to everyone else in the industry, PlayStation doesn't have this luxury of having 20, 30, 40 studios under their belt as a publisher. It's just things are going to take time, and I think we were spoiled near the end of the PS4 where the timelines just lined up. Games took less time, and also everything just happened to hit at once. And now we're going through a phase where games are taking more time and everything's not hitting at once, and we feel left out to dry because PlayStation doesn't have. You can look at Xbox. Their games haven't been the greatest, but you can at least say they've put out stuff and they're trying stuff. They had Redfall, they had Starfield, they just had Hellblade, they've had Pentiment. That doesn't even sound right. That's not right. What is it?
Pentiment. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
okay.
good.
Grounded, like they have things like that because they have 35 studios over there. Like they have double, triple the amount of PlayStation. Nintendo, I can't speak much on Nintendo because I don't know, but it sounds like they have a lot. They seem like they have a
They
lot
have
of
a lot.
devs over there.
They have a lot of R&D teams within the Nintendo.
Even like granted, Embracer, they don't do well, but they still have way more they have way more studios than Sony does. Like Sony's in a very weird spot where they have very premium, well-known studios, but it's limited quantity of that. They have again 12, 13, 14 true studios that are working on new games where if they can't put out a game at a cadence that players want, this is why I said years ago, or that we've been saying for months, that PlayStation has to be in the market to buy more studios at some point to get away from these dry areas where we're sitting here and waiting. But at the same time,
I mean,
we don't want the industry to all be under one umbrella, and we don't want to see a Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard situation under PlayStation. Like I don't want PlayStation to go out and get a Square Enix or a Ubisoft, but it would be helpful if they went out and got an Ember Lab or a Shift Up or something where we could add on to this portfolio of first party stuff so we can stop feeling like we have nothing coming. Obviously, stuff are in the work, they're always working, but it's more of PlayStation, at least with Xbox, again, it's pros and cons because we have said for so long Xbox announces games way too early. We're waiting we saw State of Decay 3 5 years ago, 4 years ago. We haven't seen it since. But at the same time, sometimes I would rather PlayStation just be like, hey, this is Cory Barlog's next game. Here's a title shot. At least I know something a little bit. I might be waiting, but at least I know something. We know absolutely nothing. We are completely in the dark, other than leaks and rumors that 80% of the time on the PlayStation side aren't true compared to other publishers. A lot of PlayStation leaks miss because we know how locked down the PlayStation and on side is on the industry. They just don't let stuff out the door usually, which is why we're sitting here a week before June and we're still not sure if a showcase is happening, a state of play is happening, or if we're getting anything at all.
I mean,
Yeah, and I think
so real quick. Yeah, go ahead. She'll talk fast.
I'm definitely of the mind where if we get to after September and we don't know, then I'll start to be a little scared. But I mean, we always knew this year was going to be slow for PlayStation for a lot of the reasons you listed. Just people are working on games that are just taking a longer time. And I just maybe it's because I have other stuff I want to play that's filling in those pockets, or maybe it's because I just don't care that PlayStation hasn't announced a whole lot because we do know they have a relatively quicker turnaround of a year and a half now. Year and a half is what they're kind of at right now. So, and maybe even with Astro and Concord 6 months. So I definitely am not as nearly as scared as y'all, I guess.
I'm
Another
not
thing,
scared. I want so Fusion real quick. So the amount of first party studios under PlayStation at the moment is 15. At least of people who are making games.
Okay,
That's not
yeah.
including a lot of their support studios. They've closed 10 studios and 4 of those were in the last 5 years. That's kind of an issue where
Yeah.
we have a weird first party release cadence and you're shutting down 4 of them. Actually, I just realized. Oh no, okay, never mind. I was about to say I thought this list wasn't updated to include London, but there it is. But what you're saying, Fusion, about kind of this dry spell, I will say this: I think they combat the dry spells through second party relationships.
Yep.
Because at the end, right now, we got 3 PlayStation games. they may not be technically first party PlayStation games, quote unquote, but at the end of the day, they're marketing them as PlayStation games. When you see the game, they get the PlayStation logo. That's their game. That's how they're viewing it.
Yeah,
Rise of the Ronin, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade. Rise of the Ronin got middling reviews, but I think it still sold very well for them, at least for how Team Ninja
yeah, it
kind of
sold
went in their
well.
estimations. It sold okay. And then you have Helldivers 2. Enough said. It's like the best selling game this year. And then
It's
you
one of
have
their
Stellar Blade,
best-selling
which
games of all time.
yeah, I mean one of them one of Sony's best selling games of all time with Helldivers 2, and then Stellar Blade, which is also like Shift Up recently said it was a big success for them. At the end of the day, it's like we can talk about dry spells because there's a lack of first party games, and yes, I'm with you, Fusion. Like I like those marquee first party, the Ghost of Tsushima's, Last of Us. Like that's we like those type of games, and I'd like to know where they are. But I think Sony's kind of subsidizing it really well with their second party relationships.
Yeah, and I pretty much echo all of that. Like when I see Helldivers, Stellar Blade, or Ronin, I think PlayStation.
And
That's just what you think about. And one more thing,
I
I do think,
agree. No, you go. Go ahead.
and I honestly think another thing PlayStation's like in the process of doing, and in that um press conference they did, nothing much was out of it, but I mean, it did show that they're investing in developing gaming nations. Like that's something that they're aware of, and we see with Korea, China, and they're also talking about Africa. And I think like with Stellar Blade, those are going to be some very big plays for them because I don't think anyone else is kind of doing what they're doing with that. It's a long term play.
And I agree. I agree. I think PlayStation is definitely 100% fine from a casual audience. We saw it. They sold 21 million PlayStations last year or whatever, and the 25 million was the number they wanted, and that was like an extreme budget. Like that was, I mean, like an extreme expectation. Like they're doing completely fine on like a casual. Sorry, I guess more so as hardcore as us and our circle, the circles that we're in, and like the Twitter space and all that. I just want more. We just want more first party stuff. And I completely understand from a casual, from PlayStation as a whole, they're doing great with the second party stuff. But what happens, it would probably not happen anytime soon, but I'm only concerned when the second party stuff dries out, or when the second party stuff doesn't hit as well as they are. Like PlayStation has to start investing some of their money back. We heard last year in January 2023 about how PlayStation was giving $7 billion or something to make an acquisition, like to make acquisitions. They haven't made a single one since that number went public. Granted, there could be stuff in the works, and I'm not even talking about. And Biggs made a good point where he brought up like around the world stuff like that. They have the project in India, which they showed in that press conference. There's 6 games coming out of there. Who knows if those are PlayStation only games? But it sounds like most likely those 6 games out of India are PlayStation only. They have good ties in Korea right now. They want to start up an African dev team of some sort. They have China project. Like they are doing stuff like that, and hopefully that all works out. And I think that could be smart in the long run. But I still think you need more first party cadence, like an easier cadence, or you need to put a more of a stamp, in my opinion, on that second party stuff of saying, hey, we just consider this PlayStation first party. Like in my eyes, like we've talked about, we all see Helldivers 2, we're like, oh, that's a PlayStation game. But we have people like Bop who looks at Helldivers 2 and he doesn't think PlayStation, which is fine if that's
Well,
what he
I
wants to
think
think. I'm not even saying he's bringing it from an Xbox side. For every Bop, there's thousands of others where they see Helldivers 2, they don't think PlayStation. They're just gonna see Helldivers 2 and they're gonna be like, oh, it's just Helldivers 2. At this point, you think a PC game with how well it's doing on PC. So like, I think they need to do a better job at those second party partnerships of saying like, hey, this is like we did so much in house on the PlayStation side. This is basically a first party thing for us. Like we want. I just wish they would close the gap a little bit more, and that could be more of just me being a hardcore, I'm in the mix gamer compared to the casual audience, which I understand. Most casual audiences don't care. They just want the console that they can play these games on.
But I think they do what you're saying. I think they do count Helldivers 2 and Ronin, and I wouldn't go as to the extent of Stellar Blade, but as those as first party releases. In my mind, they think that, or they treat it like that. I'm pretty sure with Ronin and Helldivers, when you boot it up, it has a
There is a
PlayStation logo.
PlayStation logo. Yeah, there is.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I think I understand Bob's viewpoint. Keep name dropping them, but like I understand a lot of the viewpoint of like, oh well, they're not technically PlayStation first party. At the end of the day, PlayStation says they're first party games. They're the
Even
final.
Nintendo. Look at
Exactly.
Nintendo. Kirby. Like
Yeah,
Kirby's not a other game.
Kirby, HAL Laboratory, Intelligent Systems, they are not owned by Nintendo. They are technically not first party studios by Nintendo. Are you gonna say Kirby's not a Nintendo game?
And that's news to me. I never knew that until this
Oh, you
moment.
didn't know
So
that?
no,
Dude, no,
I never knew that.
it's funny. Like again, I told you, like they bought Next Level in 2021, and then 2007 was the
Yep.
last purchase before. They
Like,
do not buy studios.
Paper Mario just came out. Great game. Nintendo does not own the studio that made it.
Yeah, so I think Sony can get to that point. They're still doing it very well. I guess I don't know. There's something different from like a Kirby on Nintendo to me, like on the Switch, than a Rise of the Ronin on PlayStation. They're still like maybe because it's still kind of new the way they're handling the second party and putting the PlayStation logo. Because for a while in the industry, like even now, people don't use this term second party really. Other than it seems like PlayStation, they still kind of use the word. Xbox doesn't use second party anymore. Like the industry kind of got rid of second party. It's been first and third party for I feel like a decade, ever since like the Xbox One launch. So like, I just feel like there's some way that they could bridge the gap a little more. Maybe it's just time. Maybe it's just seeing more AA stuff. Maybe it's just seeing more partnerships. Maybe it's just shift up having another game being only on PlayStation and another PlayStation logo. You can be like, oh, I understand now this is a PlayStation first party experience. Or like, and I'm not going to hate on Shift. I haven't played Stellar Blade. But I would probably say that you can still look at Stellar Blade and still say this doesn't feel like the same as a premium Naughty Dog or a premium Sucker Punch or a premium Gorilla. There's still, I think,
Oh yeah, because they don't have the budget.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Because PlayStation still isn't. They're saying they're first party, but they're still not giving them the entire first party portfolio of budget. They're saying we're going to give you money and we're going to help you. We're not writing blank checks for you to make this video game.
I don't think they need to.
That's the thing though, Fusion. Like you say that, but like Astrobot, that's a first party game.
I mean, he's the goat, so
He gets an exception.
he gets the exception because he's just a cute little platformer. He's just doing this thing.
He's just a goofy little guy.
And also I think with some of the, like besides Helldivers, which I mean it's not a new IP, but like no one played the first game. But like the all like the new games that came out this year for PlayStation are new IP. So like you're not thinking about it like Kirby, who's only been on Nintendo for 3 decades. So.
Yeah. And I think we're seeing less and less people want to get acquired. We've seen the Helldivers team say, hey, we want to be the next FromSoft. We want to be the next Blizzard. That seems to me they don't want to get acquired at all on PlayStation. And months ago on this podcast, we're like, oh, they're definitely becoming a PlayStation first party. But if they don't want to become it,
they don't want to.
Yeah, if they don't want to become it, they're not becoming it.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that earlier. When it comes to acquisitions, there's always it takes two to tango. You can't just be like, I'm buying you. No, you have to agree to being purchased.
Yeah. I mean, and true, like, Sony's not going to buy Arrowhead. But also, the game that they're going to support probably for the next 5 years is a Sony-owned IP. So, I mean, they're not going to be owned by them, but Sony's still going to have a decent amount of say in what's done.
Here's my thing, Fusion. You mentioned earlier how they kind of set aside $7 billion for acquisitions. Right now, it's actually a really bad time to acquire a game because like the economy is not doing too hot. Back when interest rates were really low, you could just borrow money from the government and acquire it willy nilly. And by the way, I'm not like an economist. Like, call me out in the comments if I got this wrong. But like, this is kind of what Jeff Grubb was saying. So I'm echoing a lot of what he's saying. But like, you could borrow money from the government and make acquisitions pretty handily. That's why there was that massive acquisition season where you saw Xbox buy Bethesda, Activision Blizzard. You saw Sony buying a bunch of studios and shit. All that was happening. You know, we were saying like
Xbox money.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like
the government.
That's no, but I'm still saying like it was a lot easier and a lot more reasonable to want to acquire studios at that time. But a lot of the companies didn't realize that one, the COVID boom like is over. Shocker, it was going to end eventually. But now we have this situation where like the economy is not doing too hot. Money, like interest rates are a lot higher. It's going to be a lot higher to acquire studios. So right now, I would say Fusion, they're keeping that money set aside. And they're like, we're going to wait until like things kind of get a lot better for us. Then we'll start going a bit more acquisition heavy.
Yeah, and my last point is I tried to echo it earlier. I don't want them to just go out and acquire things. Like that's not what I want.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen it 100 times. That just leads to layoffs and all that. Like that's not. It all comes just down to PlayStation at some point does need more studios. That's inevitable. But at the same time, PlayStation just doesn't need to make every game 6 years. Like you don't. You just need to make smaller budget games, PlayStation. As much as you think players won't buy them, I would hope they would. And you just need again, 6 months from now, this cannot matter. We could be playing Astro and Concord, and then 5 months after that, we could have Ghost, and 5 months after that, we could have Death Stranding 2, which isn't first party, but we could have these moments, and we probably will a year from now, and none of this will matter. It's because it feels like we're also in the point where we don't know because they've been so silent, and I feel like we've been talking about Sony silence for 18 months now. At what point does the silence break and we stop talking about it? I feel like we're always we keep talking about the Sony silence, and we've been talking about it for so long that it just feels like it's going on forever.
And you were talking about the. I blanked.
Yeah.
He was talking. Yeah, you're right, but she was very much talking. Okay, well, anyway, Bench,
it came to.
You got it? Okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah, you were talking about they need to take less budgets and games take not as long, but Ghost took 6 years and that only cost $60 million to make. So it's obviously games just take forever. And
that's just the thing nowadays. Games just take longer now. Yeah, PS4 era, games took a long time back then, but not nearly as long as they take now. Jason Schreier had that statistic where it's oh, fun fact, if a studio started developing a game now, it would be for PS6. It's dang, that's weird to think about.
Yeah, I mentioned this. This was a while back. I mentioned this, but I said that Sony was relying on third-party exclusivity, and I didn't think it was going to be holding up. And this just feels like the same thing, because they were using third-party exclusivity to kind of fill in the gaps, with Rebirth, for example, with Final. They had that locked down for a long time, and that would help balance stuff like this out. But we're starting to see that third-party exclusivity is not really working out for devs in general, 99% of the time. So they're gonna have to change up what they're doing. I'm with Fusion, where I want them to do smaller titles, not just their big AAA blockbusters. Little experiences, and get the PlayStation fan base into accepting those experiences would do a lot for them.
Yeah, I think you make a great point where that's what I was trying to kind of say earlier. It seems like PlayStation has relied on that third party so much, but in today's day and age, it seems like third party exclusives they're slowly starting to go away. You've seen Square Enix say, "Hey, we're backing out of this." Hey, Atlas, we're backing out of this. Hey, Capcom, we're not doing this anymore. You're always going to have some. You're always going to have your stellar blades. Yeah, you're always going to have some, but it seems like this isn't the PS4 early this gen era anymore. People want to play their games everywhere. Xbox wants their games everywhere. People want to play their games on a PC, on an Xbox, and a PlayStation. That's just how the industry is going. So as that keeps expanding, the less first party, the less second party stuff on the PlayStation, it's going to get a little sketchy. I don't think we're ever in direct, this isn't doom and gloom for PlayStation. No. I just think this is a question that they have to be having about acquisitions and about money and about first party somewhere on the back end on PlayStation, where they're hey, more third party teams just don't want to be exclusive anymore. They can see they're going to get more money if they're on Xbox, PlayStation, and PS5 than the money we can give them up front. More teams are just taking chances, and more teams are just hey, we want all our fans to experience this game.
I think that's the best way too in general for games, because you can just play games. It's kind of like the Xbox thing where they keep saying, "Oh, you play a game." I like the idea that you can play a game comes out and you're talking about with your friends, and no matter what the fuck you got, you can play it. I love the idea of that. Is more so the issue is Sony just gotta adjust to it. They're not adjusting to it yet.
I don't want Xbox fans to play Astro. That's ours.
You're welcome down.
I think
I don't give a shit, but I'm just saying, in general, I like the idea of no exclusivity across the board. That's always been my stance on it. But I know that's never gonna be the case. But for Sony, they just need to adapt to the situation better than I have been.
Don't think in the next 15 years that a PlayStation game, first party game, is on Xbox. I think at PC day and date,
15 years? We don't know what the fuck's in here.
Are you talking about first party? Because I don't think Helldivers 2 is out of the question.
I'm talking strictly like Last of Us, Ghost, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, well, man.
And we don't know what's
Oh.
gonna happen that long in the future.
There's
If you
a-
would have
there's a-
came to us like 4 years ago and talk about what the shit that's happening now, none of us would have believed it.
See,
So
my
I
thing
think
is,
there's gonna
my
be an
thing is right here,
Xbox in
Bink.
15 years.
I understand your point, Bink, but the thing you just said is my point. You said no first party gonna be on the Xbox, but then we also just brought up Helldivers 2 that 20 minutes ago. You were like, I consider it first party, but putting it on Xbox, now you're not considering it first party anymore.
He's changing the
think that
goalposts.
I'm not saying
They're
it's you,
changing again.
but that's my point. Is we can sit here and tell ourselves we think Helldivers 2 is first party. It's not. They are not first party in my eyes. We could sit there and say they're first party. I could say it's a PlayStation game. Being a PlayStation game doesn't mean first party in my eyes.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Makes sense.
We
It's more
will
so
see.
the industry shifting, and we're seeing people adapt to it in different ways. Besides Nintendo, they're kind of like in their own fucking safety bubble somehow.
They're
You know,
never up
Hey,
to adapt.
what's
They
up
just
with
they're
Nintendo doesn't
chilling.
give a shit. But everybody else, they're adapting, and Sony's just a bit late to it.
I think we do see. I'm actually one of the people that think day and date PC releases are closer than we think.
I think
For
yeah,
Sony, yeah,
day and date,
that's
they're
gonna
first
happen
party
eventually.
games.
You just gotta
For
wind
sure.
Sony down.
Like some people think it's going to be like years. I think it could be like
You have to
years.
keep in
too.
mind, Sony is a
guys got-
Japanese company, and these guys, they're really set in their ways. And we've seen this with Square Enix, where you have to beat the ever living shit out of them, like an idea for them to do it. We've seen it with Atlas too. As soon as they put one game on PC, they're like, "Holy shit! If you put games on other
They were
platforms, you make money."
surprised.
Yeah, they were so.
surprised.
I forgot what was it, like a press conference or like an
It
interview?
was.
They were genuinely so surprised that people bought the games on PC. They're like,
They
"Oh
were
shit!"
like, "Wow, we got 1,000,000 sales. How?" Like, because people want to play your game. I
You
don't
really
like.
just
It
have
was.
to like beat the ever living shit out of the idea into Sony, and then they'll adapt to it. That is really stubborn.
Yeah, that's most Japanese companies for sure. We will see. There's a lot to talk about there. Surprisingly more than I expected. You know, that's because we got good
Because I
conversations.
ranted.
on the podcast. Hey, I like the rants. I like the rants. Don't keep them coming. Because we want to rant now about Xbox. I don't immediately say we're gonna rant, but I kind of called this section the calm before the Xbox Direct storm. Um, is that a good name? I thought it was a good name. You know, I was pretty proud.
It was. It was.
Everything's getting leaked.
Thank you, Fusion. Thank you. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff leaked, as Dark said. Yep, Fusion, friend of the show, Tom
Mm.
Henderson, linked a
Oh
big
yeah.
one. Your favorite person. He said exclusive Doom: The Dark Ages to be revealed at Xbox Game Showcase. And then Nate the Hate retweeted, not retweeted. What is it called? Quote tweeted it to say to expand upon the report with some additional information. Doom: The Dark Ages will be announced at the Xbox Game Showcase next month and will be revealed as a multi-platform release. Yes, it's coming to PlayStation 5. Now, there's a lot to dig on there, but first, I just want to say we got Doom, baby! We're back. We're so fucking back. I'm ready. This seems to be a medieval Doom, as the report says, in the Middle Ages. This kind of interesting. It seems to be very much a, what do you call it, prequel situation. And I'm so
Do
fucking
we?
ready. I want more Doom. I want more id Software. They're
It'll have a
one of my
platinum.
favorite. Yeah, I want my platinum. I got it, bro. I was shocked when I saw that PS5. I'm like, fucking hell
Yes.
yes. Listen, I got no problem with like playing games on Xbox at all. Like, I'll play it. I don't care. But like, I like getting the platinum trophies. You know, Doom. I got 2016s. I got Eternals. I want to get this game's platinum. So
I do
that
think I'm
this
curious.
wasn't too surprising. But God, I'm ready.
I'm curious if this is it's a Bethesda game, so it's going to be on PlayStation Day One. I don't know, but like, or is it because? Is it something that's been set in stone for a while, or is it because of the strategy shift?
It's
That's
nothing
kind
to
of what
do
I
with
want
the
to.
strategy shift.
I
During
definitely lean more that way.
during the acquisition, this is before Microsoft even got involved and started like doing all the crazy shit. Phil was always of the mindset like, hey, these legacy titles like Fallout and fucking Doom and Elder Scrolls, that it was always going to be a case by case basis because these games have been on these platforms for so long. So I always have the mindset that Doom was going to be multi-plat. The argument can be made for Elder Scrolls, given that it's been like fucking almost over a decade since the last one came out. But for this Fallout, I think there's gonna be multi-pack going forward.
Yo, guys, can we not talk about the multiplayer for a second? Doom is back. All right. It's
I haven't played
always
a Doom
oh
game.
PS5 this that. Shh, bench. This is not your moment. This is me. Dark,
Also, I
Jesus.
wanna with the whole thing of Doom. I think it might be a new universe. I don't think it's a prequel because we kind of already seen the origins of Doomslayer and Eternal. Like we seen how they got to where they're at. So it wouldn't fit story-wise if you even considered Doom having a story. So I think it might just be a brand new universe that they're trying to set up.
What if there's another Doomslayer in the universe
Wow,
from
multiverse.
years ago?
Multiverse, do multiverse, our favorite multiverse.
I hate multiverses.
I hate it too.
Whoa, you hate multiverses? The hit game?
Oh no, not the game. I'm
No.
excited for that game.
That's next week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday. God, games coming out on Tuesday. Who the fuck does that?
It actually, yeah, I think it's Tuesday. Which it should have dropped tonight. That's beside the point. But like that game would have been amazing for a 3-day Memorial weekend.
I know, right?
Like, that would have been awesome.
How do you set that up?
Yeah.
They forgot Memorial Day was a thing. Real quick, joining us now. He just got the cake for the 1-year anniversary. Moon, what flavor did you get?
I'm a good old vanilla.
Vanilla. Yeah,
I
you got
have-
sprinkles on that shit? Give me sprinkles on that shit.
Sprinkles.
What?
bit of
How
sprinkles.
is
Is it
I'm
at least
gonna say-
ice cream?
is it an ice cream cake, Moon? Can you
No,
confirm or deny?
I don't do ice cream.
Can I be real with y'all? Never had ice cream cake.
Oh,
People
ice
always
cream
say
cake
it's
is great. It's great.
I've never
It's
had
good.
it. It's always too expensive. I'm like,
I mean, they are like it's definitely the expensive cake. Like
It's
if
the
someone's like, I
bougie
got an
ice
ice cream cake, yeah, you're putting out money out there, and they're never like that big for the price you're getting, but they're pretty good. They're pretty solid.
Yeah.
Man, what do you think of this new Doom game? The Doom, the Dark Ages.
It really depends on how they tackle it. Because if it's like, well, how are they going to handle the whole thing of Doom being guns, guns, guns when you're in the medieval ages? It's just going to be like a weird,
Gonna
like
be like Far Cry
tech
Primal, sticks and stones.
No,
sticks and
this is the
stones.
second time I've heard Far Cry Primal being compared. Please don't put that energy.
It's gonna be like you throwing rocks at people.
Looks
like,
like a
we're just swinging
mammoth.
around
A
a maze.
demon mammoth shows up.
I mean, maybe they use like bows and arrows, ballistas. I
Well,
don't know. I think they'll
could-
still be guns.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be either
Judge
it'll be
tweeted
either
out. He said there
magic.
would be guns.
It'll either be magic
Okay.
or some kind of like steampunk thing where it's like it's not realistic medieval, but it's like a weird medieval with technology. At least the technology
Yeah.
for at least guns.
Look at that.
I love that. That is awesome. I just want this game. I've been waiting for Doom for so long. I hope-
Moon secretly
saved
knows
for
what this
so
game
long.
is. Like he just gave us the whole
Yeah,
the whole rundown
he
of
was
it.
he left because he had to go get insider info about this game.
I was
talking
talking
He
to
was
Phil Spencer.
he was in the conference room when they were pitching the idea.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, more Doom is always a good thing, whatever it is.
Dude, and I wanted to ask: is this Doom PS5 port? Is this going to be like the first of the mini day and date, or is this kind of just like as Dark said, a legacy IP? So like,
I mean, is it
something
really
like
that
this.
big of a thing with how Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves and all of those, and probably more are coming? I mean, the Xbox is just going third party. That's just the reality of it now. I mean, if it wasn't that, there probably would be an argument for the whole legacy thing, but I think we're just looking at the future of Xbox is just going to be this production studio or this umbrella of production studios, and they're just going to be multi-platforms. Like, here's our console, but it's also available on everything else, so we can get that money.
I do think
I don't think it has
This-
anything to do with that.
I
Personally.
don't think it has anything to do with it, but I think them seeing the results of it also being on PlayStation may accelerate the third party day and date thing faster than we expect.
I mean, it's probably a bit of both, where it is like, yeah, we want to
Yeah.
honor all the Doom fans on PlayStation, but at the same time, we are leaning towards more multi-platform for a lot of the things that we own. So it's a bit of both, probably.
Yeah,
Did
it was
the
already.
article
That's
say anything about
tactical.
day and date? Do we know it day and date?
I think
That's
it was
rumor.
Nate the Hate. Nate the Hate said it, and he's
It-
pretty solid track record.
He did say it's a state of play, so I don't know if we can trust him.
It was
Oh my
always.
God.
It was always a situation where they were like, "Oh, we're it's like wait and see for these type of games." the way I'm thinking is going with the whole Bethesda thing, and even Activision. Call of Duty, Fallout, and Doom are always gonna be there. Elder Scrolls will probably be the exception because that just how big of a name Elder Scrolls is and how long it's been. But who knows? Because that game ain't coming out to 2030. So
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Starfield almost kind of threaded the needle of like, okay, it didn't seem to sell the Xbox consoles the way we expected to. So I think Moon's kind of right where like they are gonna definitely lean more towards third party. They're not going like full third party yet, but like
no, I
it's
don't think
looking
they'll
like
ever
they
go
want
full third party, but they're gonna be pumping out a lot more games.
I think they go full third party.
I don't think
They'll
I
so.
go
don't
full
think-
third party,
I-
but it's going to be a slow process. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to
Yeah.
be for like a long time. But we're going to look back. It's Starfield is probably right. You're probably right on that. We're going to look back on this era of gaming and be like, yeah, Starfield was like the straw that broke the camel's back. That Xbox realized, you know what, we can't compete in the way that we want. We're just going to go full third party and just focus on just making games and putting them out there and making money from that because we can't be the console leader.
At the same time, given what they said during the whole the strategy shift, it could very well be a thing of, well, let's start pumping out some games to bring more attention to the next game. Like the whole rumored Gears of War collection, which I do believe is a thing. If that is a thing, it is probably going to be multi-plat, so that they can hype up Gears of War 6, or it's just going to be exclusive. And we're hearing crazy things about Gears of War 6 as well, how it's like the true next-gen game and all that, et cetera, et cetera.
We will see. More Xbox stuff. This is a quick one. I'm just curious about this. What you guys think? Okami Games posted Microsoft demos Baldur's Gate 3 and Borderlands 3 running at 30 FPS with ARM on the new Snapdragon X mobile chip. Potential taste of a future handheld. And it wasn't like a crazy news thing. This was kind of like a small demo kiosk they showed, but it kind of made me think: are we seeing this handheld Xbox at this showcase, or is this the type of thing where they're gonna wait to like reveal it?
I think they wait because
I
I
think
think
we're a
it's
little bit
something
too
they want to
early
get
for it.
right. I think they want to get it right, and they're not going to rush it. So I think this is still a couple years away.
I think this got leaked a little bit too early. Like
Mhm.
the whole Xbox Steam Deck, whatever the fuck they're doing. It's a thing, but we're not gonna see it now.
And then into the next one. Very curious about this. My Call of Duty experts, Fusion Dark. Get off the bench. Get off.
Get
the
off
bench.
what?
There you go.
I didn't even think about that. It was just. Anyways, Call of Duty tweeted a dark new chapter of the Black Ops franchise begins. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I want to point out they were like, "Oh yeah, it's official. Did you guess it? The direct is a Black Call of Duty showcase." It's like, dude, everyone knew. Like you were not being coy about that at all. But more interestingly, Tom Henderson tweeted this one out. Insider Gaming has been able to verify with multiple GameStop employees that Black Ops 6 will release on past gen consoles, PS4 and Xbox One. And Fusion, you were immediately very disappointed by this. Do you think this game is going to get held back by these last gen versions?
Held back's a strong word. I doubt held back. I just feel like someone tweeted it out. I forget who, but they said like it seems like GTA 6 is going to be the first time where like players are forced to upgrade to these new consoles. Like we're talking about how like we've seen Xbox, we've seen PlayStation, both of them say like we still have a lot of our fan base on Xbox One and PS4. Well, you still have a lot of these people on those consoles because you're not exclusive. Like you don't have exclusives for these next gen titles. How are we about to be our fourth Call of Duty in, and it's not exclusive yet? Where the Xbox 360, the Xbox One era, I think it was like 2 Call of Duties in. They're like, nah, we're done with the 360. Like it was just over with. Like it's you as a console and as devs, you can't complain about like I understand there's a lot of players on PS4 still, like 50 million. There's a lot, and there's probably a lot on the Xbox One still. But at some point, you have to be like, okay, our games are not going to be on those consoles, so you have to upgrade to the new stuff. Or are we going to be sitting here and it's 2027 and the PS6 has been announced and is about to come out, and we're still talking about people on their PS4 from 2013. Like that's genuinely what I feel like we're going to get to a point where we're about to be on a whole new generation of consoles, and we're still talking about like, hey, those PS4 players, the new Call of Duty still on the PS4. Like when are we just going to rip the Band-Aid and say, hey, upgrade the new console if you want this game? There is the PlayStation 5 by itself is over 50 million units right now. It's not like you're not losing. You're not going to miss out on crazy sales. The Xbox Series X is 20-something million. The PC is hundreds of millions. These games are going to sell if they're exclusive. Like, let's get it to a point where now the tech, Call of Duty is a little different because Call of Duty is never doing something crazy where it's like the PS4 and the Xbox One will truly hold it back. But I can't imagine what these games look like on those systems. Like, I can't imagine being like, I don't know if you guys remember the Xbox 360 version of Black Ops 3.
Oh my
But it
god!
was so bad. I mean, it was so bad, and I'm like, we're going to get to a point.
Had no
It could be this
campaign.
year. Yeah, we're going to get to a point where maybe this year, where those versions are probably so dumbed down and so bad. Why do they continue to do them? Like what the PS4. I know someone who still plays like Warzone on the PS4, and that thing sounds like it's going to take off any minute and die. Like it doesn't sound like it's healthy to run that video game. So I don't understand how they can keep pushing it every year. Like I really thought this was going to be the year where they left old Jim behind, and I guess maybe not. Maybe it's the next year. Who knows?
Because Assassin's Creed is leaving old gen behind.
Yeah,
so
they're next year only.
I mean, we only saw. Is it on Xbox One?
Yeah, I think it is.
I have no idea, but there's no way you only put it on PS4.
That'd be weird for it to be on PS4 and not Xbox One.
I don't think
my
that's.
Xbox.
There's been a
think
lot of that recently
reasonable.
where
Yeah, but not Call of Duty.
games are putting them on still on PS4, but they completely abandon the Xbox One.
I don't think it's
that's,
crazy.
That's the thing, though. Those are third-party companies.
I would say this is an Xbox game.
Still, I think Xbox knows that you're not. The Xbox One doesn't have the biggest amount of people.
There might be more
just less
Xbox One
powerful
players
piece
than
of
Series X
hardware.
players.
How many Xbox One players are there versus Series X players? Because like Xbox One sold, they never gave an estimate.
It was like 48 mil, I think.
Yeah, it's like around 15 mil or something. And
Like
then
RE4.
Series X right now is at like 30. I want to say. I forget.
I think they're still in the 20s, but
yeah. So if it's like,
So
I don't know. I doubt that there's that many Xbox One players. So maybe Bench is right in that regard. But it'd just be weird if they just didn't put it on Xbox One.
I mean,
when
this
you
was a
own
game in
it.
development before the acquisition, so who knows?
That's true. That's true.
Also, with Call of Duty itself, that's something I wanted to bring up because the game does take place in 2001. So I already seen the clickbait things of, oh my god, they're gonna do 9/11. They're not doing 9/11, okay?
They're
not
doing 9/11, brother. What else happened in 2001, Dark?
If they do 9/11, it's gonna be a news thing where they show like the news, like, oh my god, this happened. We are not going to play a mission of us doing 9/11. I don't know who came up with this great idea.
What would the mission be? It's
I
like
don't
what
even know it.
I don't want
you know what?
to
Actually, I don't want to get us demonetized.
Yeah, let's not get into that. I'm just saying that whoever came up with this, you're dumb. It's not happening.
Dumb? Well, no, there was like a leaked image where it straight up said 9/11.
No, it was the leaked image said that it was tapped. The game takes place in 2001. So someone immediately jumped in saying,
what else happened in 2001, Dark? That's all I'm asking.
We ain't doing it.
Can you think of anything else that happened in 2001?
There was a bomb threat in the Twin Towers with a.
That was in the 90s.
No, there was a car bombing in the 90s.
No.
The car bombing.
It wasn't a. It didn't go off. They stopped it in time. But it was in the basement of the Twin Towers. Did it? I don't think it went off.
Okay, why are we getting into 9/11
anyway,
conspiracy theories? We gotta stop. Let's just mood. Make sure to put a timestamp. 9/11 conspiracy.
Marking it down.
Anyway, the next thing on the docket is Avowed and Indiana Jones. Insider Gaming and Noble had this one. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle and Avowed will be playable for media and content creators at this year's Summer Games Fest. Hands-on previews drop on June 10th. This also came from the Insider Gaming report. Pretty spot-on track record. Kind of tells me these games seem very much set to release this year. I know there's like some weird thing around like Avowed. A lot of people aren't sure, but it looks like Xbox is like second half of the year. Like if you get Avowed, you get Indiana Jones, Call of Duty. That's a pretty strong year. Okay, not all at once, guys.
Oh no, I think it's. I've said for a while, for a few weeks now, I think it's a very, very strong year for Xbox. Like they're
not only in terms of that, just like in terms of the announcements that they have too. But they're announcing. I don't think Doom is this year, but they're announcing Doom. We know that Gears of War is going to be there, and now there's a lot of evidence supporting a new Halo title is going to be shown off,
I hope not.
which is insane. Like they're gonna have an
I'm just-
insane showcase.
Do you guys?
Yeah, I'm
do you
curious
guys-
how Indy is going to play, so I want to hear those previews.
Yeah, that's something I'm very curious about as well, especially with that whip gameplay.
Well, same with About, I guess.
I'm curious. We didn't talk about this earlier. Is Doom this year, or you guys think it's 2025?
That's next year.
Probably
Yeah.
not, just because they seem to have their schedule full.
The
I feel like
only
Tom
game,
Henderson would have said so if it was this year.
the only game I can see coming out this year, if it even exists, is the Years of War collection in like August or September.
I feel like we've been talking about that stupid collection for like on our.
We
own.
have since like
Yeah.
2020.
So we do know that there is another Gears of War title that's not Gears of War 6. So it's either a spin-off or it's a
Gears
collection.
Gears
Two.
Tactics, baby.
Oh,
Gears
Gears of War
Pop 2,
Tactics is a
man.
good game.
Oh, hey, look, I like. Would you rather a Gears Tactics 2 or would you rather the collection?
Depending on how the collection is done, I would rather the collection.
Okay,
I
there
need
you
that
go.
collection on PC, bro. Just put it on the PC.
Dude, that's what's weird. It's like
That
Gears
would
of
fit
War is like one of
perfectly
the
with-
only Xbox games that aren't on PC. Like all the
Just
Halo
put it
games
over
are
there.
on. It's weird.
And it would make
And
sense
then-
to it, given that they want to hype up Gears of War 6, so put it on like PS and PC this year and get more people into it.
Oh yeah. Last thing here is Ninja Theory. Okami Games says this: Ninja Theory's next game after Hellblade 2 has reportedly been greenlit. According to Jez Corden, the unannounced title is in addition to Project Mara, the psychological horror game that was first announced in 2020. And I kind of wanted to ask this in regards to the reviews and like kind of how like it looking like from the player numbers wise. Are we concerned about Ninja Theory's future, or is this kind of like this green lighting happening a sign where like, okay, you know what? I think they're fine.
I think a lot of points have been brought up to kind of like to help. Something that's helping them keep their future is their technology. If they didn't have that, I'd be
Oh, yeah.
more worried.
Yeah, they're like they're the second best studio with Unreal Engine 5 other than the Coalition under Xbox. So you definitely want to keep them around for that.
Well, also, they have like the mocap studio that's kind of like their big one for Europe.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think if it wasn't for that, then I think you could kind of question it. But I think they're fine for now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think there's a worry about like how this thing will do sales wise, and like how many players on Game Pass, all those statistics.
I mean,
I think they're willing to take a loss on this title, especially because I feel like they go into it knowing it wouldn't do like gangbusters.
I'd be shocked if this game has sold over 1 million copies right now. I'd be shocked.
I mean, the whole thing
Yeah.
with
I'll tell you
Xbox
right now,
and sales is really
this
weird.
game won't have high sales.
Yeah,
Like-
the whole thing of Xbox, they do Game Pass. So they're just trying to get people. To
That's what I mean. This
and it's
is
a short game
Pass
in
thing.
general, so it's like what
Will
5
it hit 1
hours?
million players on Game Pass?
No.
1 million people will play it by the end of the year, probably. Just given how
I
short
mean,
it is.
End of the
I-
year.
Like, I saw a tweet about Steam count, and it's not even over like 5,000 people off Steam that have
Yeah,
played
I
it.
mean, Steam.
I mean-
the fact that this is not again, I'm not. We're gonna talk about Hellblade 2 later. I love Ninja Theory, but the fact that
It's a niche IP.
this is a niche IP, but we're talking about their peak was 3,000 players on Steam, and I understand Ghost is a bigger game and it's different, but Ghost is a 5-year-old video game that just came to PC and it hit 70,000. I'm talking about Hellblade 2 is a prestige. This was the game. I understand prestige isn't the word I should use, but this is the game that they showed with the Xbox Series X in 2019. This was the one that it was the very first like next gen title we saw. This is a new video game. I feel like they had to have sat there on those Steam numbers and been disappointed by those. Xbox and Game Pass, I'm sure they'll probably be happy about. We'll hear about that later. But from just a Steam PC perspective, I was honestly shocked to be like, there was 200 plus video games that's like were higher on the chart than Hellblade 2, a brand new video game. Like, when's the last time we've ever heard about that from my first party game? Anywhere,
And
not just
I mean,
Xbox,
you can
In
but
probably-
anywhere.
in defense of the whole Ghost PC thing, you have to keep in mind, not only is Hellblade niche, the color palette, even though like the graphics are insane, the color palette is really dull. Like, you have caves, like, and you're dealing with heavy topics. Meanwhile, Ghost has some of the most insane bright colored areas I've seen in a video game to date. It always seemed like a bad setup with grouping those two games.
I don't think the comparison is great, but I do think it's like, I don't even think the Game Pass numbers are going to be over 1 million for a long time, or at least till the end of the year, like Dark said. which I do think is kind of like, I think we see this game on PS5 within a year.
But at the very
Mm.
least, I want to say this is what we want though from the industry. I want
Yeah.
Ninja Theory to be like, hey, we want to make this game. We're going to build this game. We're going to put out this game. Sales aside, this is why you go to an Xbox. This is why you have Microsoft as the publisher to say, hey, we can take these chances. It's not going to be some crazy seller. This is a niche title that we want to make. This is what we want to do. They obviously really wanted to make a Hellblade sequel. They are very passionate about an IP that they created. I am happy that we're able to sit here and play Hellblade 2. I'm just hoping that continues. I'm hoping we can be like, this is what we want from the industry. This is what we say we want Sony to do and we want Xbox to do. And we wouldn't be having these conversations if Hi-Fi Rush didn't just happen 3 weeks ago. But this is exactly what I want from the industry. I want more Hellblade 2 experiences where dev teams can go out there, they can be backed by these trillion-dollar corporations if they want to, and they can make what they want and be okay with, hey, this game didn't sell crazy. Obviously, everyone
Well,
wants their game to sell, and they want millions and millions of players, but I want them to be happy with, hey, this game sold 500,000 fans played our creation, they played our art. That's awesome.
and I do agree that I think things should exist like this. But I think we thought all these things, and then like 4 studios closed. And I think we can't really say that about Microsoft expectations anymore because they aren't willing to take that hit, as we know. So
I mean,
I just
we don't know. That's the whole thing. We don't know what the fuck's going on Xbox right now. So we can't really say anything, in my opinion. We don't know if Xbox is in charge or we don't know if Microsoft's in charge. But we're hearing so many different conflicting stories about what the fuck's going on. And even if Microsoft took over, why are we having these? We just had a big batch of layoffs. Why not just put everything into one big batch? Why are you doing waves of layoffs? It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, I just don't think we can like say that Microsoft is going to be will be happy to take the hit, even if it's like something that should exist.
Hey, I hope they're willing to, because like Fusion said, I like these type of games existing. Even if Hellblade isn't my thing, like I'm glad it exists.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving into our next story. This is going to be a really short one. IGN kind of went on a weird buying spree. Shinobi has this. IGN Entertainment has acquired Eurogamer, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, GamesIndustry.biz, and more. Layoffs has hit across the gamer network portfolio of sites. And I should mention, like the layoffs are actually big layoffs. Like people like Brendan Sinclair, which I read a lot of his articles on the podcast. Like he's a pretty big guy on games industry. He got laid off, so it it's a very weird purchase. Do you guys think this kind of will lead to like a lot of gaming news taking both like a downtrend and or also just another thing to note? Are we
I
gonna
mean,
just see like a massive consolidation across like gaming news? Will it
I
all
mean,
be just like
it's not a
IGN or
weird
GameSpot?
purchase. It's a power play move from IGN,
I, yeah,
but
they want to be
they
the
gotta
spot
get
for
money
gaming
from
news.
fucking everyone.
They want whenever you look up something gaming related, they want one of their websites to be the first thing you
Yeah,
see,
they gotta be
and they're
getting
just trying to
a fuck
cover
ton
all
of money
that.
now. I don't think they'd be making that many. Like, I don't think you'd be seeing 8s across the boards like IGN does on all these. I don't
No,
think
I
you're
think
gonna see any changes. They just wanted more money. That's what it is.
they just want to like have more, I guess, a monopoly on kind of the screen when it comes to
Yeah,
looking at
I
gaming
generally
stuff.
think this counts as a monopoly because everything else is so small. And,
I
well, not everything,
consider
but
counting that.
most other things are so small compared to these big ones. They pretty much
Well,
dominate the whole scene right now.
there's still stuff like GameSpot and
Yeah, there's a few other ones, but like
I think Polygon and Kotaku are independent.
it's
No,
kind of like
Kotaku's
the situation with Sony and like them owning the anime distribution thing. It's like that, which it should have got flagged for monopoly, but it didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm very curious. It sucks for all the people who lost their jobs. I wonder. Hey, listen, all that matters, VGC is safe, and those are my goats, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, hopefully all those people can get some new jobs and get through it. Weird situation. That's really all I gotta say there. Moving into our next story, which, well, okay, okay. What's this stupid Trails game? I was for. I got this added onto the dock. I did not add this.
It wasn't even
the first-
democracy.
And you
They
added the.
forced it.
What the
I
fuck?
did. We're talking about it, Dark. The first trailer for Kai no Kiseki, a game that won't release in the West until 2026. Got its first trailer, and it was
Wait,
peak.
what? Wait, it's not releasing till 2026?
If I had to give an estimate, it's late 2025, 2026
It's-
in the West. Japan, it's in
Oh, in the
December,
West. When is
Yeah.
Japan getting it?
September.
September.
So yeah, so this is the 20th anniversary title for Trails. It's been 20 fucking years. And the thing of this series, if you haven't played it or know anything about it, it's the only game series that I know that has over 10 entries that you have to play in order. And this is a JRPG series. So you can't really just
Yeah.
jump in on any title. You have to really play it from the start and play it through like that. And there's some ups and downs to it because it makes it hard to get into the games. That
But
said,
if you get in,
once you get in, the world building is so insane inside the series.
and yeah,
It's something I've never seen been done inside a game before.
yeah, and we had Kevin. Kevin is back. And
Yeah, if you're big
Marine,
into the series,
so-
Kevin hasn't been playable since fucking Sky 3.
really?
He wasn't playable this year.
Oh yeah.
You're playable? No, it was since Sky 3. So it's a really big deal for the series, and I'm glad that it's getting a lot of recognition.
Yep. We
Since
are
we're also
into peak.
covering news about this, they did, like I mentioned before, it is hard to get into the series. They've been teasing, and they just directly teased it earlier today. Earlier today that the Sky trilogy will be getting remakes in the near future.
Yeah.
It might be next year, most likely.
Yeah.
But they're really
And,
pushing the series heavy.
And the next game in the West, the 11th entry, Trails Through Daybreak, is in July, and we will be playing.
Busy!
And that's everything with Trails.
I just said I'm busy! Ah, God bless. I'm glad you guys are excited for that. Listen, I actually like Trails. I want to point that out. I don't want to be this guy who apparently got labeled a hater one day. I am an enjoyer of this franchise. I played one title, but hey. I'll see you guys in 2026 when I catch up to... What's the one coming up this year?
Trails Through Daybreak.
Daybreak. Okay, that's number 11.
That's number 11. Oh my god.
Yep. This is the
It's-
next one coming out in Japan is number
Like
13.
I've never seen another game series do this where you have to play them in order. But the pros to this downside, let's get the one big downside. The world building and characters and the storytelling is so
Yeah.
immense. It
It's
makes
so
up
good.
for it.
Ah,
Some would
Fusion,
say it's peak.
let's get Fusion in on this.
I don't know. I said like sometime last year I was like, oh, I might have a Trails like one time, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, that's the thing, and it's really hard to get into at the moment because the Sky games aren't really accessible unless you're on PC.
But they've aged.
But now
well.
they just confirmed that they're doing a Sky trilogy remake, so that's probably gonna come out next year, and they're pushing this series pretty heavily.
Mm.
I
Good to
think
hear,
that
good
this
to
series does a lot more things better and goes into darker themes than Final Fantasy. If you're into like
Yeah,
direct
this
comparison.
series gets dark.
Yeah, they do some pretty intense shit. But Final Fantasy is always different. This is just one continuous series.
Play it. It's peak.
Okay, I will play it. Moving on. We got our reviews of the week. There's a good amount, but listen, just talk about the obvious one: Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. What are
Let's
we
go.
doing here? 89 top critic average. We won, ladies and gentlemen. It was actually sitting at a 90 for a while, and then some.
Could still go back up.
Some spineless cowards put some lower review scores, but damn it, we let's just say it was at 90 for a long time. All right.
And it can go up. It's only at 38. so.
IGN's a 9, Game Informer 8.3, 9 from GameSpot. A lot of high 9s and 8s. Pretty much what we expected. Love this series. Love Paper Mario. Glad it's finally fucking back. And
Yeah.
but me and Ben's been playing it. We'll talk about it later, but yeah, it lives up to what our expectations were. Ben, do you have any thoughts on that?
Peak game.
Peak
We'll
game
talk
and
about it
game
later.
He
rating.
says. Okay.
You guys been
Yeah,
hyping up, look. You guys have been hyping up this game for. I have the game installed. I've played like the
Oh
open.
my god, we don't
And
want
this
you to
game-
play it.
I'm gonna play it.
No, you don't
I
get
don't. I
the
might
game
play it this
for it.
weekend actually. If this game doesn't hold up to expectations, I won't be disappointed. You are hyping up the
Expectations are
fucking.
unfair. You're like You're like the Square Enix of video
Dark-
games.
No.
man.
You guys have expectations. You guys are hyping up the shit out of it.
Dark, you're not playing. Dark, I'm gonna play so much Fortnite with you this weekend that you won't have time for Paper
Oh,
Mario.
wow.
I'll
Fortnite Day.
sacrifice my time.
My one question to you, Bench, is you were like, it's a kind of serious question, but not kind of serious. You were like adamant that this game was getting a 91. Does the 89 hurt you at all?
Nope, because it'll
Got
go
it,
back up to
91.
90. It was out of 91.
When was the
But-
last
and
time
honestly-
a game ever went up after it's been like?
Because this has 38 critic reviews, and Nintendo normally sits at like 80 when all is said and done.
I don't
Oh, yeah, I
think
wanna
80
ask.
people are playing this game.
Since it is out now, is there any new content or just like a one-to-one?
2 new bosses.
Yeah, there's new boss fights.
Plus, but also like there's so many new tracks of music, and also like the music is like completely redone.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And
Looks like
it's
they also
like
redid
it's
some
not like
dialogue,
a.
too.
You get
And
some
we do
extra
know
bosses
from-
and some dialogue. They pulled the Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, we also it's just a remake. Like it's not just a remaster. That's been confirmed.
That's good at least.
God
Right.
bless. Can't wait. Another game that we can't wait for. Well, I say can't wait for. It's out. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. We talked a bit about this earlier. Sitting at an 81, a bit lower than we expected. A lot of us were kind of predicting like mid 80s, high 80s. Your gamer gave it a 5 out of 5. IGN an 8 out of 10. Game Informer a 9 out of 10. GameSpot a 6 out of 10. Metro Game Central a 5 out of 10. So a lot of like mixed reviews. It seems like. Fusion, you're the one who's been playing it. How you feel?
What would you give it?
I'm not gonna give a score until like we actually talk about the game later. But yeah, I think it was a little lower than I expected. This is actually lower than the first game, which shocked me because that first game was kind of rough around the edges at the time. So I thought for sure this would be like a couple points higher. But like I don't think they could be mad at this. I'm sure they wanted something higher, but I think a 81 is a good score for this game.
So,
It's very. I will say it's very weird to see. There hasn't been a game like this in a while where the review scores are drastically different. Like you said, you have that GameSpot 6 out of 10, and then you have like a Eurogamer 5 out of 5. It's like a very much. This game either got like a 9 or 10 for you, or it got a 6. Like it feels
It's
like
one of those games I can tell like already. The subject matter that it touches on, if it resonates with you, you're probably going to enjoy this title because it does deal with dark themes and depression and all that. If not, and you're not really like dealing with that or have dealt with that, probably gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
yeah.
Very interesting. Again, yeah, lower than I expected. But we gotta get into games that we love. Because it's our 1-year anniversary, we have to ask about what are the best games of all time, aka the Slice of Gaming top 20 games of all time list. That's right, we're making
20.
a consolidated list. Yeah, 20. I mean, it'll go by quick. We're gonna argue, yell, scream, possibly kill each other. Just
And
check
cry.
the news tomorrow.
Stab,
But-
shoot.
Bench dice first.
I agree. I agree.
I'm very interested to see where we go with this. We're gonna shoot out games. I have so one thing, we all have one lock that like even if the others don't agree, we get to put it on the list no matter what. So that's 5 games that we can have as locks for each individual person. But I just want to shoot out some games. Let's see like what's gonna stick. Listen, can I get Elden Ring on the list? Would you guys be mad? That's all I ask.
Is it your lock?
Yeah, is it your
No, it's not my lock. It's not my lock because I don't need to
Listen.
lock it.
No, it's a
Listen,
genuine question
I'll-
if it's your luck or not. Did you
I
have
have
No, it's
Final
not my
Fantasy 14 on the list.
You can
If
have
you
Final
want.
Fantasy 14. I know you love
14
Final
and
Fantasy.
Elden Ring are 2 valid games given
Okay.
the
Persona
status.
5, I
Okay.
think, is one we can unanimously
Yeah,
agree
Persona
on.
5 is an easy one. Fusion, throw.
You guys also been listing a lot of Japanese games.
I
Let's get some Western. We need Fusion here.
I don't.
Mass
I mean,
The
I don't know.
trilogy.
I think Last of Us is definitely on the list.
I
the
knew he was
first
gonna say
one.
Last of
Two-
Us.
I mean, Last
2
of Us
or
is
1?
his baby.
I'm going to lock the second one. I want you to know that.
You're gonna lock. Wait, okay. I don't think you need to lock the set because.
Well, I mean, I agree. Yeah, I think they could both make the list, but I think at the very least we could all agree the first Last of Us would be up there.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I like Last of Us 1 a lot.
How do you guys feel about Mass Effect 2?
Mass Effect 2
it'd be
for
up there
sure
for
has
me.
to be there. Listen, I know, Bench, you like 3 more, but like I think most of us like 2.
Listen, hear me out. What if the
No,
Legendary
no.
Edition is
Oh,
just
wait,
a
No,
game?
no,
Wait,
no,
Legendary
no,
Edition is good, but you have the whole
no.
experience.
It's one
Three
game.
games. No, that's
I installed a single game. It counts.
Yes,
I mean,
but that doesn't count.
that's like saying the MCC counts.
When you played every game, Binks, did you have to go to a new menu and click new game?
Listen, that's semantics.
No, that's the truth. So,
I say Mass Effect 2.
No,
I-
Mass Effect 2, I think, is easily.
That's not my
the
lock, by the way.
most.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, no. We'll save our locks. Dark.
Yakuza 0.
Dark. I mean, Yakuza 0 is a good one. I actually like.
Here's the Kingdom.
Here's the thing. I like Yakuza 0, but like, I don't know how much we'll fight for it. Like, how much do you expect to fight for it, Bench? Because
Like a dragon.
No,
though.
I wanted.
like a
I just
dragon, I
wanna
would
see.
fight for.
I think.
Moon, play Infinite Wealth Moon.
I
Come
started
on.
it.
oh hype,
Okay.
bro, hype.
What about
Uh,
Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah,
I think one of the Zeldas has to be there.
Either Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
I think.
There's
And
no way.
you might as well put
Wow.
Ocarina or whatever, that one you guys really
I mean,
like.
Ocarina
I
has a
love-
99 on Metacritic.
I
You wanna go
love
Dark.
Ocarina. I'm fine with Tears of the Kingdom being above it because I know Bench likes that game.
Dark.
Okay,
What
so I
Trails game
asked
is
this.
making the list?
Okay,
Wait,
well, you
what?
guys argued that.
I'm not. My lock is not gonna be a Trails game, okay?
Well, there's not going to be a lock,
Real
but
quick.
like I say, Azure. We can put on the short list.
Yeah, Azure is pretty fucking high up there.
All right, I'll put Trails to Azure. Hey, Dark, I'm willing because I know you like Snake Eater the most. Do you want to
Oh, yeah.
go for Snake Eater?
I
for
do believe a
Game of
Metal
the-
Gear
Oh, yeah.
can be up there, and I think
'Cause-
any of the first 3 can be up there.
2 is my favorite, but I'm fine with consolidating Snake Eater if you want because they're all pretty much equal games.
I
in
feel
my
like
eyes.
Snake
Thought it-
Eater is kind of like the definitive Metal Gear game. Like when I think of Metal Gear, I think of
Stranding?
Snake Eater.
Since
That's
you
just
like,
how it is for me.
Since you like Snake Eater,
But the
more,
thing
we'll
is,
put
like
Snake
two is just as deserving as the position.
Eater.
Same with
Okay,
one.
well, would you let me put 2?
They- As long as a Metal Gear game is up there,
Okay,
because they deserve
that's
one of the first 3.
I'm surprised I got
Death
MGS2
Stranding.
up there. I thought I would have to lock
Yeah.
that one, so I'm happy. Bench Skyrim. Would you bench
yeah.
Dark? Would you guys fight for Skyrim?
Yeah, and also Rebirth
Skyrim.
has to be up there.
I'm not throwing.
I'm
That's
not
my
Hey,
lock.
hey.
So
Oh, Bench
Oh,
is
yeah,
locked.
it can be a
Okay.
lock. I think God of
Okay.
War.
We can
One
put
of the God of
remake
War
in.
should be up there.
Ragnarok.
I think
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is fine.
God of War. can go up
Ragnarok. Ragnarok without doubt.
what about Death Stranding?
No,
I
I
love
don't
Death
think so.
Stranding.
I
don't think
love
it's
that.
top
I love
20.
Death Stranding, but I
love that
wouldn't
game.
see it on the top. It might be on my personal
would-
top 20, but
All right, Wolf.
I
I
love
think
Death
Halo 3
Stranding.
should be
It's
up
the
there.
weakest Kojima game. Oh, sorry, Dark. What'd you say?
Halo 3 should probably be up there.
Halo 2 is my favorite.
I mean, 2 is like most people's favorite. Like Halo 3.
Wait,
Why
why
do
do
I
I
go
go
okay, is
against
there?
that?
Wait, Dark. How about I hit you with this? Reach.
Reach can go up there too. Reach is incredible.
I like Reach more than 3. I think we can
That's
only
fair.
have one.
Yeah, just one. One from each
real
series
quick,
is
real
fine.
quick. Yeah, do you guys want to say that? Let's just make the rule now. One per franchise.
Yeah.
Like I know you want to put both Last of Us fusions, but one from each.
What are you, Fusion? You cool with that one per franchise?
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because there's a lot of games we want to put here.
What about
Okay.
Xenoblade 3?
You guys can have
13
Xenoblade.
Sentinels?
Okay, they can't help you there.
Okay. I think Nier Automata should be on the list.
I don't think
There's a valid
Yeah.
argument for that in my
I
opinion.
love
What
Nier
about
Automata.
Dark?
That could be a
I
lock,
like
bro.
RE4?
That's not gonna be my luck.
Listen, we'll
RE4?
decide our locks later. I just realized I haven't put.
I mean, I think I get people aren't going to agree in this gap, but The Witcher 3, I think.
No, yeah,
Has
The
a
Witcher 3.
genuine
I'd put
argument.
Cyberpunk over Witcher 3.
I would probably put it
okay.
maybe on the list,
Here's
but I
the
don't know if
thing,
I'd put it
but
over
it's two
that.
different series.
I don't care for either game. Like I played both games. I liked Witcher 3 more than Cyberpunk, so I would fight for Witcher 3 over it.
I did too.
You can put The Witcher.
No
So
list is
Witcher
complete
3
without Kingdom Hearts 2.
Kingdom Hearts
Kingdom Hearts
2.5 remix is up there for a fact. That's
We are not.
Till this-
I'm not adding all that. I'm just gonna put Kingdom Hearts 2.
Full name, bro.
that is still by far the most fun I've ever had.
I'm deciding right now. Fusion. You got. What about Hades? Would you try to fight
I
for
would put
Hades?
yes.
I'd
I
put
would
Hades.
easily fight for Hades.
Hades 2.
Hades.
Hades do
We
not
wanna
yet,
see-
but
Okay,
the
2's
first
not
Hades.
really
Yeah,
out.
you can't count the second one yet. I
What
would
about
fight.
Titanfall 2?
Oh fuck yeah! I would so fight for Titanfall 2. That is one of the best FPS campaigns.
I would really fight for Hollow Knight, but I don't know. Moon
I
might
like-
fight
I
for Hollow
love
Knight.
Hollow Knight.
What about
Okay.
Doom Eternal?
That's a It depends on
Uh,
what's on the rest of the list because it's
Okay,
really
fair.
good, but I don't know about
Fair.
fighting for it. It
I-
depends what else is on the list.
Dark, can I put? Would you say I like 2016 more for Doom? And Fusion's played Doom 2016, so he can fight for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, since it's our list here, we can put 2016. But I was gonna say like the general consensus with most people I've seen is that Eternal is better one, but for our list,
I love
Okay.
Eternal. Love
Eternal's
Eternal,
so
but
good.
2016's
Oh,
like
you
a
got
tighter experience.
GTA
Danganronpa
5,
V3.
man.
What'd you
I'm not
say,
locking. Look, V3 should be. I am not locking V3.
Wait, Fusion.
What
What'd you say?
about
I think GTA 5 should be up there.
Oh my god, you kidding me? Yes.
Pokemon Legends Arceus?
For the
What about
Pokemon
Pokemon
game?
Fire Red?
Yeah, I was going to say, what about
No,
Fire Red
I-
Leaf Green?
I wouldn't
Fire
put-
Red and
I
V3
would-
I
are
love-
probably the two.
Wait,
I
mine
wouldn't
says-
do
okay,
Gen
here's the problem with
Black
Pokemon is
and
that we
white?
all have a different favorite because mine is Platinum.
I'm not even going with favorite, but my favorite will be Platinum. But I think
Okay,
Fire
wait,
Red
we
and
have
Leaf
two-
Green.
We have two
Gen
people that think
5.
Platinum's the best one.
Yeah, but like
I can settle for Platinum.
I
mean,
vote
yeah,
for
go for
Platinum.
Platinum.
Platinum just sounds cooler.
Yeah, as Fusion
Yeah, we
thinks
can go
Platinum sounds
Platinum,
cooler. Bench, what about you? Do you like Platinum?
I mean,
Red-
Gen 5
Red-
is better, but Platinum
Red is my favorite
Um,
one, but it's also the only one I've played.
He
Yeah, I
always
would go with
says,
like
"Hmm,
Black 2, White 2, but I'll settle for Platinum.
I'm
Black
fine with
2, White
White.
2.
Hey, I'm fine with Pokemon White or Platinum. Like either one. Like those are all like.
Let's go
Gen
Gen
4.
5. Gen 5. Gen 5.
Gen 5. You want to do Gen 5? I'm fine with Gen 5. Black
What-
2
what-
or
Black 2, White
Black?
2. Those are
Okay,
Black
I'll
2.
put Black 2, White 2.
What are your
We're
thoughts
getting-
on RE2 Remake?
RE2
Uh,
remake.
I would do RE4.
It's
Peak.
for
I would do
Platinum?
RE2 Remake over RE4.
I would do RE2 Remake over 4.
I would probably put RE2.
Because
remake
RE4,
over it.
RE4 is
My-
the beginning where they started going more action heavy. I say RE2.
My favorite is original RE4, but I'm not going to fight for that. I think
That's a
RE2
different
remake.
house.
And is there any
Red
way
Dead
we
2?
can get an Uncharted on the list?
Dude, Fusion, I want an Uncharted. I actually wanted to discuss this with you. I'm fine with settling for 4.
I think 4 is better, so I would be fine with that.
I think 4 is better.
I mean, I think they're both almost 10, man.
That's
They're
fine,
both
I
very
don't
good.
care.
I
Is
think
Sekiro?
one of the Batman Arkham games and
Sekiro.
one of the Spider-Man games should be on the list.
Spider-Man
I like-
2018, yes.
I like
And-
Spider-Man
2018.
2018 more.
Batman Arkham
Almost-
City should
I
probably be on
think
there as
Fusion's
well.
the only one who likes 2 more. I'm sorry,
Ghost.
Fusion.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, Spider-Man 2018, Ghost of Tsushima. We're getting full here, so
Batman
let's.
Arkham
We got
City.
Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2. You guys are talking so fast.
Madden
Okay, Dark,
2003.
Dark. I like.
Batman does not come into the fucking list. I'm gonna lose my
Oh.
shit.
Real quick, Moon, you want to go for Bioshock Infinite? Would you fight for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll fight for it, but I'll settle for the original Bioshock. It's still a good game.
Portal
I
2.
feel I've only paid.
Oh yeah, Portal
Bioshock
2.
1.
Portal 2's got to be up there.
Oh my god, you kidding
Where
me?
the fuck
You
is
kidding
Batman?
me?
We're not putting Spider-Man.
I'll put, dude. You guys put like 30 games
I
on
know
me.
he can like type so fast.
Sorry, would
Which
you rather-
Batman?
I like Arkham Asylum the most.
Would y'all?
Like
I
substantially
think,
more
I
than
think
City.
City is the best game. We can put a
Wolf
second.
Live.
I'll put City. I'll put City.
Live
Uh,
Live.
Live, I wouldn't fight for it. We're getting to a
What
point
about
where there's like we're
Three
literally
Houses?
talking about the greatest games of all time.
Super Smash
Alright,
Brothers
well-
Ultimate.
Oh, Ultimate for sure.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
No, listen, Dark, I love you, but not that much. Wait, Fire Emblem 3, Smash Ultimate, yes. that
Street
has to
Fighter
be there.
4.
Street Fighter. I'm
We,
not
want-
watching
we
Street
don't. We
Fighter
don't even
4.
have a Mario Galaxy 2.
Mario
Oh,
Galaxy
yeah.
should be up there.
Oh, you mean
Wait,
You probably
Sunshine?
need a Mario up there for you guys.
I need a Mario game on there for sure.
I say
That's something
Galaxy.
I
One
was
of the
like,
Galaxy.
Galaxies.
I'll fight for
Galaxy 2.
Sunshine, but
I'm-
I'll accept Odyssey.
I'm more than happy with Galaxy 2. I'm fine with Galaxy 2 or Odyssey. I don't care for either. Like
I think
either
Galaxy
one.
2.
I think Galaxy
think
2
that's
is
the-
gonna outwin.
Also
Galaxy 2 is
for
the best 3D
Odyssey.
Mario.
I'll put-
So we only
I'll
have
just-
one lock so far?
Odyssey.
Well,
Yeah, the only one of you have
Link's
locked
Rebirth.
That's a crazy lock. That game's just.
I mean, it's my number 1 of all time. What do you want me to say?
Okay, I'm literally looking at my top 10 favorite games. I'm not even gonna try to entertain.
What about Symphony of the Night?
Jack 2?
I mean, like, you say a Jack game.
I'm not
don't
gonna
know if
try
it's
to
a Jack, but like no one here.
No, I get it. Doesn't play like these are games that are widely considered the greatest. Jack 2 is a childhood favorite.
Mega
so
Man X4.
No.
I like Mega Man X1 more. So
Damn,
that's the only way.
that's
you're gonna get
crazy.
Mega Man on
Because
here.
X4 is
What
like
crazy. Everyone agrees Mega Man X is the best one. I'm putting
What
Mega Man
about,
X.
I don't know if it would make the list,
Not gonna play.
because I don't think anyone else has played it but me and Wolf. But Inside is really good.
My God,
But
I
I don't.
love Inside. I don't
I
think
just
it
don't think it
plays,
would
but
make
I
it.
want it.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
We need more indie games, bro. We're
Okay,
triple
put Hollow
A
Knight on there.
goblin.
We got
Look,
Hades
look,
and
I
Hollow
think
Knight.
we're
I think honestly,
good.
I think there is more indies that definitely deserve it. But out of a 20 list, let's say Hades and Hollow Knight made it. 2 out of 20 is not terrible for all time video games.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. I'm thinking now. Okay, any stragglers that you're like, I can't believe we haven't even said this game.
That's
Like,
what I'm trying to think if we're just
I'm looking
missing
over at
something.
like my list of my collection of games over there.
the
The only thing that stands out that we haven't mentioned is Infamous and It Takes Two.
I love Infamous. I don't think it plays, but I'm with you in that I love that game. I
I
think we're the only two who have played it.
if a Far Cry was on the list, it'd be 3 for me. But
It'd be
You're
5.
not
for me.
putting a Far Cry on
yeah,
the
but I
list.
would not put a Far Cry on the list.
I love Far Cry 3 Fusion. That's my baby, but like, there's no way. Would you put
Oh,
Odyssey
Core 6.
Fusion? Would you fight for Odyssey?
Mario Odyssey
Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
No,
or
Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed.
Creed?
Odyssey.
No, I would not put that. No.
No, they're just like the game's
Like I
Any
like
Assassin's-
Odyssey, but no, Odyssey
Is
wouldn't.
any Assassin's Creed worth fighting for?
Brotherhood.
I don't know.
But I think I'm the
don't
only
know.
one who's played it here.
Yeah, I can't help it. Yeah, there's that. I can't say. I'm looking at my favorite games list.
Xenoblade
Nice.
Chronicles 3.
It's on the list.
Listen, if I was a real man, I would say Bloodborne is locked at number 1. You can't stop me.
I mean, it can be on the list.
It could be your lock.
No,
It could be
I
your
love Bloodborne, but I don't know. I already have Elden Ring. I'll take
you
one
could put
from
Dark
Souls.
Souls.
Titanfall 2.
We
I'll
have
put
it.
Dark
Yeah.
Souls 3 because
Titanfall 2 is
Dark
on the
likes
list.
Dark Souls 3.
Oh, Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, Link Between
Link
Worlds. I was
Between
actually gonna.
Probably be up
I
there.
think we're the only ones who played it though, Ben.
I
Fire
played it.
Emblem Three Houses was
Oh,
mentioned.
Overwatch. Bob would hate us
no.
for not putting it on.
No.
I just don't like multiplayer games.
Okay. Wait. Dark. Fallout New Vegas. We have to put something Fallout. Come
Yes. Yeah, I was
At
thinking
least
between that or 3. Yeah, Fallout New Vegas will be up there.
on. I think I love 3. Fallout New Vegas is the best one. Looking through, I think we're at the point where like I
We got
wouldn't fight for Rayman
unlocks.
Legends. I wouldn't fight for GTA 4, Phoenix Wright.
And we gotta assume
Yeah.
there's some games not on this list might be some people's locks that they're gonna throw in too. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like someone's
Uh,
gonna throw in like Super Mario World or something.
Call of Duty doesn't play, right?
no,
Modern
unless
Warfare
anyone
2.
did.
I'm about to lock
my-
Call of Duty
Modern
Ghost.
Warfare 2 is my baby, but no.
In my opinion, of any COD, I just think because it was so inspirational, like COD 4, but
Inspirational.
like as in, like not inspirational, but like
Influential.
yeah,
Inspired.
influential. Sorry, yeah, like it was so influential that like
Inspirational.
multiplayer games to this day have followed the COD 4.
I mean, if you want to
Mindset.
go that route, then Halo 2.
But that's why I said I don't think we should do multiplayer in my opinion.
He hates multiplayer. He says if you
I
play
do when it
multiplayer
comes.
games, you're
No,
bad.
I spent 20 years of my life only playing multiplayer video games. I just think they are in a different light when you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, so where's NCAA
There it is.
14?
Yeah, like I'd put an NCAA game up here, but it doesn't make sense.
Dude, we keep mentioning Bop's name, guys. All right, listen.
He's gonna hate us at some point.
He already does.
How he said
What about
that.
Ark
I
Survival
think we
Evolved?
have a lot of games here. No, I think we have a lot of games here, and we might as well just start trying to build something out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we should get the
Bro,
locks all over.
last thing.
Then we
Kirby
still
and the
do
Forgotten Land. Would you fight for that fusion? Okay.
I wouldn't fight for it, but I really do like that game.
If we're talking top 50, you'd have me, but not top 20.
Okay. Yeah, top 20 is like tough. All right,
Yeah,
let's
top
figure
Top
this out.
50 for the 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, really. Okay, Bench, since Rebirth is your lock, think of a realistic, keyword there, realistic position you would put Rebirth on.
I could joke and say 1, but I'm not going to do that. I'd be okay with it being at 15 as long as 14 can make the list.
I mean, Fusion, you played.
Oh
it.
wait, I
did
just
it?
realized we said 1 per franchise.
But that's so different. One's an MMO.
Hold
No,
on,
you gotta pick
hold on. Here we are. Only,
So
I'm gonna say this. What if it's 1 per franchise? But if your other's a lock, that just happens. So if he locks
Wait,
Rebirth,
just-
we could
wait,
still
wait,
put
so it's-
14 on there.
So it's just going to happen that you're gonna lock.
Wait, so
Last of
you're
Us
yeah,
2 to put Last
Fusion,
of
you're
Us
just
We
saying
did not
that's
say
equal
that.
to
We
Last
did
of
not.
Us games.
We didn't say that. We didn't say
Literally,
that.
That's the insinuation.
literally, I could be fine with Rebirth like 15 and 14 like 20. I'd be
You did-
happy.
We didn't say all that. We just
Okay,
said
here's the
Like,
thing, though,
I
Ben.
see through your
Bench,
lies,
I
bro.
love you. You're the only one who's played 14.
I
All
understand,
the other
but
games,
it's
multiple
like
of us played.
I understand, but 14 is so good.
You gotta
It's
pick
like
I
one.
wish I could. Well, damn, Jack 2 is so good, guys. Can I put it at number 1? Like,
No, like, I'm gonna
that's not
be-
an argument.
Okay, then can Rebirth be 19 and 14 be 20? Like, I'm fine with them being on the list.
Listen, I'll give you this. You could put Rebirth higher, but 14's not on the list because it's one per franchise. I just don't think it's fair, Bench.
One's an MMO. They're
You
so
have
different.
to. Bench, you're the only one who's played 14.
okay. Hold on.
Okay,
If
let's.
he kind of makes a point in,
It's two different genres, but
but I'm gonna say this. I don't think two FromSoft games can go on the list if two Final Fantasy games can't go on the
Oh
list.
my god, that's his
Unless-
first thing.
unless
That's his first
it's-
thing, by the way.
unless
I
it's
wanna
Armored
fucking-
Core and then like a Souls game. Because
wanna
how
Yeah, I guess
different they are.
Armored Core is completely different, but like Elden Ring
I'm
and Dark
fine with
Souls
that.
3 are not completely different in the way where you could argue Final Fantasy
I am
14
100% fine
and
with that.
Rebirth.
I'm 100%
You know what I mean?
fine with that. I only need Elden Ring on the list for FromSoft.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Bench, are you fine? Can I just put Rebirth on the list? I'll put it higher if you want.
Rebirth's got to be like number 10 if we're doing that.
Oh my
It's
God,
like it's my number one of all time. Like
That's hard,
Okay,
bro.
the
That's
best
hard.
okay, I'm
game.
gonna hit you with the Shark Tank, but like
You're gonna put a
position.
deal.
Let's say 12.
No, I'm
That's a good number, but you better take the offer.
Ten, or I'm gonna
Come on,
no.
I'll give you
10 or I'm
5%
really gonna
equity.
11.
No, I'm like 10 because I'm
We
gonna
cannot put it at 10. Okay,
listen. I can be very argumentative going forward. 10 is
Hey,
fine.
You're gonna lose. You got
Look,
the most
let's
insane
put-
offer,
hey,
but it's cool.
Let's agree. Let's just put it at 10 for now. We can reevaluate.
okay, we'll put it at 10 for now. Yeah, of course. You know,
It might look
we'll
good there.
rediscuss the
Like
deal.
we don't know what the rest of the thing. It could look fine there.
Listen,
probably-
Wolf. Let's get Zelda out of the way. Where do we want it?
I'm good with Tears of the Kingdom.
I know, but where do we want it?
I put it higher than Rebirth. See, the
Yeah.
problem is that all of these I'm gonna say is higher than Rebirth.
I say keep it
You
at 5
haven't
and then we
played
can move it.
Rebirth.
Yeah, but let's just
I-
keep that at bay.
haven't played
Let's
it.
just you can't.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Keep it at 5 and then we can move it later depending.
All right, I'll put Tears of the Kingdom at 5 because we all love Rebirth. The people who played it.
Yeah, we all love Rebirth.
Okay. Wait. Did I say Rebirth?
Yeah, you said Rebirth. I mean, technically, everyone here loved. I love Rebirth. That was a good game.
it's not
but
like
it-
everyone's
the-
negative on it.
I would say, no, it would not be
That's what it
anywhere near
feels
my
like
top
sometimes.
20. But
All right, Fusion. Last of Us 2. You fighting for it? You want it on that?
Is this
Are
your
you
lock?
gonna lock it? That's the thing. 'Cause we all
Okay,
gotta
well, no, you don't have to, I'd fight for Last of Us 2 as well.
I know you would fight for it. I mean, if Last of Us 2 is on there, then I don't want to lock it.
Honestly, I would go for Last of Us 1.
I know
I'm gonna
that's my
have-
point. Is I think all of you
I'm gonna
guys
do
would
s-
choose one, but if
I'm gonna do
everyone's
something
choosing one,
crazy.
I'm
No.
locking two.
Fusion.
Wolf.
I'll tell you this, Fusion. I like 2 more. 2 has better
Okay.
gameplay.
Okay.
Wolf, I'm gonna do something.
You know, I
crazy.
can get behind that with 2 having better gameplay, so I'd pick that.
You're loud
I
as fuck.
switched my lock.
You're kind of loud to turn it down.
Oh. I got a little too
You
close
just
to the
wanted to
mic.
really make sure people understood that you like.
I
2's
really,
gameplay.
I really like its gameplay.
Its gameplay is awesome.
Wolf.
I love that gameplay. Okay,
I'm
Last of Us 2.
switching my lock to 14.
Oh, so Rebirth out 14 in?
Okay, well,
think-
if you're the only person though that's played 14, it's gonna be lower. You know that, right?
It's still gonna be like 15.
That's fine.
Okay,
I
I'm
think
gonna
make
that's
a-
a
I'll
great number.
I don't
fine
even know
with
if this is a hot take or not. I think God of War should be 3.
I 100% I'm fine with that.
Ragnarok?
God of War Ragnarok.
No, he's saying God of War 3.
No, I think God of War should be 3.
3? No, I
Yeah,
think
for
in like
Ragnarok? Bench, wasn't it your
No.
favorite game of all time for like a month?
Yeah,
the
it was.
honeymoon phase.
Yeah, your
God of War
Rebirth phase,
Ragnarok
your
is
Rebirth phase just
actually-
ended, buddy. 14.
No, because I think 14 is more like. It's,
I'm sorry.
Aren't
Can we
cool
talk
talk.
about how Bench literally just had post-nut clarity? It's like, actually, you know what? Fuck Rebirth, put 14. That's
Wait,
my
so-
baby.
hold on, let me ask first. Let me ask, or is everyone here who's played Ragnarok? But I haven't played. I only played 2018, and I
played
adore that
Ragnarok.
game. Is it better than 2018?
Yes.
Easily.
Because I would
Not
put
even a debate.
2018 at 3, and if it's better than
Besides like one single like 1 hour portion, yes.
then put it at 3.
I'm
That's fine.
unironically like Ragnarok is like one of the most tightly made games. I'll put it.
I think that's fair.
I think it's.
I think it. I think
think-
it could be in
okay.
the top 3 easily.
I think Smash Ultimate is 2.
Okay, listen, Bench. I love that game to death, but I won't be able to fight against these 3.
What?
Wait.
3?
So everybody who's played Xenoblade, is that a lock? Like, we're fighting for that, or what's the situation?
I'm
Well,
down
okay,
for
well, Dark, I played Xenoblade. Do you
Is that
want me
gonna
to?
No. The ones that the Xenoblade 3 specifically.
I think it's
Yes,
gonna be
I
better.
did. I played 10 hours. You never listened to me.
I
Did you
think-
actually?
I think it
Yeah, I
has some
played
of
10
the
hours.
best
I wasn't into it.
core themes woven into the narrative of like any game ever.
It's like
The theme of like
I'm confused because my lock is either gonna be Nier or Xenoblade 2, and you guys already know my reason for 2, but I would not be here if it was not for 2. So you guys
I'd
decide
like
which one is my
I-
lock going to
here's
be.
the thing, Dark. I
This is a
get
guilt-
that.
This is a guilt trip.
I think
No, it's not main guilt trip. Like
the thing is
I don't know
that-
if it's at the bottom. Like I would not be here if it was not for that.
No, Dark. I understand that. Here's the thing: is that
That's me and Last of
Ben
Us.
and Moon both prefer 3.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's what I'm
have a
saying.
hard time
I'm just
playing
asking
3.
which one. Like, if 3 is
3
gonna
would be
make
the
the list,
winner.
I'm cool with it. Then my lock's gonna be Automata.
okay, that's
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
so
asking.
okay, where do you want Xenoblade 3? What do you guys think is a good position for it?
18.
18. Oh wow.
18. Whoa!
Whoa! What the fuck?
You guys are on the same wavelength. And then Automata. I would fight for Automata. If that's your lock, let me make sure I put it as a lock.
Automata 16.
No, I think Automata's
I-
10 or 9.
No.
Listen, I love that game to death. I would be fine with that.
No,
I
I'm
think
fighting
10 or 9 is
against that.
fair.
No.
Like, it's not my fault you put Final Fantasy that low.
Here's
What?
the thing. I'll put Dark. Hang on, Shark Tank negotiation 12 for Nier Automata.
Then
Okay.
then let's make it artistic and have 14 be 14.
I'm not doing that.
Yes.
He wants the artistic vision to come into play.
Yes, cuz yes, 14.
Okay. Let's change gears. Persona 5 Royal. All 4 of us love
4.
that game.
I think
So
2
it's
or
Probably
4.
4. It's probably 4. Probably 4 or 2, actually, to be honest.
I think
Okay,
I think we could
let's get our other locks down. So, Bench was Final Fantasy 14 because he said "fuck Rebirth." Apparently, what's his name? Moon. What do you want to lock? What's a game where you're like, I don't know if the others are gonna like let me fight for this.
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I would fight for that. I don't
I'd
think
fight
you
for
need to
that.
lock that.
Yeah.
4 of us love that game.
Okay.
I wouldn't say love, but it's a very good game.
Why do you hate it, dude?
I like
I'm
3
gonna-
Hopes more. What do you want me to do?
I'm gonna
3
lock
hopes?
Strange.
Wait, what's the hang on. We're stopping the podcast. What the fuck? 3 hopes?
Hopes is the better game.
Okay, 3 hopes is not bad, but like you are not gonna
I'm
tell
gonna
me
have
the
to
game.
play 3 Hopes to see what the
the
fuck this guy
ending-
keeps. He's been screaming this
the-
for months.
I mean, I
the
like Three
ending
Hopes,
of that
but
game.
no, it's not better
It's one
than
of the
Three
best
Houses.
games of 2022.
Three Hopes is really good, but don't
I
get
I
me
don't want
wrong,
to
I
play this
really
shit
like
now.
it.
Like,
What
But
lock
it's re-
did you say?
Life is Strange.
Oh, Life is
Which one?
Strange. I like that.
Which one? Moon, which
Yeah,
one?
which
oh,
which
the
Life
first
is
one.
Strange?
the first
Like
one's
it
really
last, but it's your lock, so I'll let
Wait. So okay, so that's your.
I don't think that's
lock.
even on the list.
Right, but if that's your lock,
Yeah,
that's
you
your
just
lock.
brought
right?
it up.
No, I'll save my lock to when you start eliminating stuff.
Okay, we'll do that
Okay,
later then.
what do you guys think
Dark.
of Mass Effect 2 at 7?
I think Mass
Seven?
Effect 2 could be even higher, honestly.
Wait, can we see this list somewhere?
It's
Oh,
on
it's
the
in the
dock.
dock.
It's on the
Right,
dock.
yeah, it's in the
Oh, okay.
dock.
I think Mass Effect 2 is
We're just trying to listen to us and see what's up. Like, I'm
Yeah,
just-
really, I would be fucking.
He's having the audio version of the podcast right now.
Yeah, audio listeners, I'll pour one out for you, homies.
No worry, we'll reread it all once we're done.
No, Bench, you can't just
It's-
mess
yes,
with the list.
Yes, I can.
We'll leave
What
it
were
there
you
for
saying?
This
now.
is marketing.
You were asking me something?
What about so Mass Effect? You said 7.
I think Mass
I would
Effect
say
2 that's
6.
7 or 6.
I think
I
6.
adore that. It's in my
I think
top 5. I'd put it at 6.
Listen, 4 of us adore that game. Is there a game that all 5 of us love? Because I feel like that would be the winner.
Spider-Man 2018.
I mean, that's not number 1.
I would
Yeah,
love that game,
but-
but that is not number 1.
I know. I was just saying.
No,
I
I
was just
think
thinking of the
Smash
game that all of us
Ultimate.
like. Smash
If,
Ultimate.
if Bench didn't quit 10 minutes in, it would have been Hades, but
I'm down for Hades at number 1. Listen,
I'm down for
Honestly,
Hades
Hades,
number one.
Hades being a number 1 makes sense to me.
Hey,
I mean,
okay,
I wouldn't argue against it.
hang
What,
on.
okay, what
Hang
about
on, guys,
Trails
guys.
to Azure at 20?
Wait, what about RE2 remake at number 1?
No.
Did we
I'm
all
down for
like
that.
that?
I love that game to death. I'm down for it if y'all are.
Like,
I was just thinking of games that all of us like.
above Royal
That's
and
all
Ragnarok,
5
though?
of us. That's
like
my
above-
thing, though.
Oh yeah, okay. When you put it like that, then yeah.
Here's the
about-
problem that we kind of have with this list is that we need a game that all 5 of us adore. I actually think the closest is Ragnarok. I know, Moon, you're the lowest on it. Do you dislike it or do you still?
No.
The
I
thing is,
don't
I
dislike
haven't
it.
played it. It's not on PC.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but Dark, to
Listen.
be fair though, Dark, you played 2018.
Yeah, I played
So,
2018. If it's better than
yeah,
2018,
It's a better 2018. Listen, I'm down for put Ragnarok at number 1. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think Ultimate is at least
Okay,
like
put
At
put
that rate, why don't we
Ragnarok.
just put
Here's-
Royal at number
okay.
1.
okay. You're kind
No,
of
well, Fusion's not into
Here's never played
Persona.
it, though.
Yeah, but every game has like at least one person that were like, I didn't play
think-
it or I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
No,
I think
but that-
Royal is
except
in like all of our
Ragnarok.
top 10s. Besides Fusion.
Well, it's actually in my top 50. I changed it just now.
Yeah,
Push it back. It's about
you're
37.
the closeted Persona. I'd be down to put Royal at 1.
I don't know.
Because I think,
No,
I think 4 is too low.
I think God of War makes more sense than Royal.
I think
Who
God of
here-
War
I
makes
think
more
it
sense.
does.
If we wanted,
I do too.
we
But
Five
who
of
hasn't,
us
that we
all
who
five
hasn't played
like.
Portal 2? Has anyone not played Portal 2 yet?
Me.
I haven't played Portal 2 yet.
Oh.
What
That's a
is
huge-
wrong with you children? That is the best puzzle
if
game
we want to
ever.
base the list off everything that we like, then Ragnarok makes the most sense.
I think. Listen, I'm just gonna put it at number 1 for now. We'll see how it looks at the end. Okay.
Smash Ultimate at 3.
Oh wait, what about Doom 2016? Didn't
I'm
we all play
not
Doom?
big on Smash.
Bench
That's the-
drop dude. This
Smash.
minute.
No, okay. Well, that was just him being like, I'm not in the mood for good games.
Oh
Where's
no, I
Trails?
agree. I just don't. I don't think Doom 2016 could be first. Is what I meant.
Oh no. I think Doom 2016 could be top 10 though. All of us, like 4 of us, love it.
Titanfall 2, though. It's right there.
Okay, hang on. Okay,
I think
This
both
is important.
Spider. Oh, then not everybody played Batman.
It's-
Spider-Man
I
would
don't
probably be top
think-
10.
I don't think Doom and Titanfall 2 are making this list.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, bye Titanfall.
No, that's insane.
No chance, bro. You're not winning that.
I mean, I would be Team Titanfall, but
Oh
I
wow.
think Moon would too.
I think
I
it's
really like
slightly. I think it's slightly outs out to me that I think Titanfall 2 is better than Doom.
He made that
Moon-
up. He made that up just to
Moon,
piss
are
me
you
off.
No, I would-
Titanfall or
I would
Doom?
still put Doom over Titanfall.
Look,
See,
see,
look
you
at
just
that.
know, Moon. I'm
We
saying
have
I don't think
three.
I'd win the battle, but I'm just saying, like in my
I think
opinion.
Mario Odyssey. No, not Mario Galaxy 2 can be 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Mario-
Order-
Hey, okay, guys. Can I at least have Elden Ring in the top 10? That's all I ask.
No.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
can
like
only-
Ben says no.
Let's have Elden Ring at 11 for now.
We need to just put Last of Us 2 on somewhere.
Yeah, what do you want Last of Us 2 realistically?
I
Uh,
mean,
I mean,
for
you-
me, it's my favorite
I'm
game of all
being
time, but
Elden
I'm
Ring
being
is
honest.
not 2.
No, it'd be funny if it was
What?
13.
The thing with if you put Last of Us 1, I would argue for the
you would argue for
Actually,
what?
You want to
If
be
you put
really
Last
funny?
of Us 1, I put it a lot higher than Last of Us 2.
Well, yeah, because you haven't played 2. That's the issue here.
Last of Us 2, I think Fusion loves it, Bench loves it. 10.
I'd be
Well,
fine
no,
with that.
I love it. I like that a lot, actually. You know what? 8. How about 8?
No, because I think we're going to get some other stuff that may be able to be higher.
We can move later.
I always said we can always move. We can pivot.
But
we
what
can
about
move, we can
Pokemon at
If
17?
we were on a really good joke, we put Kingdom Hearts 2 at number 13.
We should put Kingdom Hearts
Oh.
2 number 13.
What's the
Kingdom
game?
Hearts 2, you got 2 people
Organization
that love it.
13.
Oh.
Organization third number 13 appears a lot in
I
a
wanna
lot of
point out-
number it does.
No
Stuff
more
like that.
lists
There are-
numbers.
There are
No, I
so
love 13.
many games on this list that are not going to make it, and it is crazy to me.
What do we want? Where do we want Hades? 7?
Honestly, I think Hades has to make.
3. 2 or 3, whatever.
I'm okay with Hades being 3.
Hades is 3, yeah. I'm fine with that.
No, Smash
Oh, what about
Ultimate.
Red Dead 2?
I
Smash
thought it will be
Ultimate.
here, bro. It will be here.
Smash Ultimate is 7.
We could Smash Ultimate down to like 19.
I put Red Dead above Smash.
Okay, I want to go 19. Can I put Smash Ultimate at 15 then?
Yeah,
Well, no,
I'd say
can I
that.
put it above Final Fantasy 14, Benjamin? Can I have
No.
that permission?
No.
But
like
he said
it.
no, but
You one
he
person
just said
played
7.
Fine,
also-
fine,
One
fine.
person.
Fine, then can Trails make 20? Can that
It's
be-
already
is
sitting at
20.
20 right now.
Bro, are you reading?
Can you guys believe this?
I still think The Last of Us should be like 10.
it's at 8. We'll decide
You can
later.
put Mario Galaxy 2
Elden
at
Ring
7.
also is
Ma-
not number 2. You're smoking crack, Wolf.
He just put it as a placeholder for his
It's a
art.
placeholder that we're gonna conveniently forget about.
I think Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I would say Spider-Man or Batman, but Spider-Man, since we've all played it, will probably be.
Okay, well, okay. We also need to get in lock territory because we're running out of room. How many locks
we
are on
got-
this list? We have 2
Wolf,
locks
what's
right
your
now.
lock?
My luck is Elden Ring to be number 2.
It's not. That's not how it works.
Dang, what is it? Are you
Uh,
gonna? Yeah.
how much? Okay, Fusion. How much would you fight for Uncharted 4?
I would say right now off the list I'm looking. I mean, I would fight for it. I think it should be on there, but we might just run out of room. And my lock is going to be The Witcher. If it's not on the list,
Okay,
it will be on.
your
the
luck's The
somewhere.
Witcher. My luck's Uncharted 4. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm fine. Uncharted 4
Witcher-
at 16.
The
Yeah,
Witcher would
Uncharted,
make sense on its own.
Uncharted. I mean, Elden Ring is not 2. We need to move that.
Isn't
Unless
it
they put
weird
The
how
Witcher
he's
at 10
so
and
hung up
Spider-Man
on
at
this?
9.
Isn't it weird how much he hates Elden Ring, guys? By the way, I want to point that out.
Listen,
The
Where
most
you
important
said to
game
put-
of
you
all
haven't seen.
I want to point that
Where'd you
out.
say to
Stuff
put
you
Witcher?
listening.
Witcher
Mark?
at 10 and then Spider-Man at 9 makes sense then.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How about you, Fusion?
Listen, what
Yeah,
about we
that's-
do?
That's fine with me.
What about we do switch Persona 5 and Elden Ring?
I'm
I'm
not
fine
mad
with
at that.
I'll actually
No,
take
so
that.
I'm
yeah.
not
sounds
mad at
reasonable.
that.
I just want Elden Ring top 5. That's all I care about.
Also, we still need Moon's lock as well. Whatever he's gonna pick. If it's Life is Strange
Everything's
or
been good so far. There's nothing I'm like,
He's not-
I really want to
Moon,
fight
do you
for.
just
You know,
not want to have a lock?
Honestly, like, I'm gonna be real. The more I'm looking at this list, the Tears of the Kingdom looks fucking weird.
as it
That's
it's not good
crazy.
enough, bro.
That's
Okay, we got Persona 5 at number 2. We got Hades. I got Spider-Man and Kingdom Hearts. I like this list is fine by
I don't
me.
know if I like Tears of the Kingdom more than Mass Effect. I'm being honest.
okay. How about this? Listen.
No, I haven't played.
Tears of the Kingdom at 7, Mass Effect 2
No.
at 5, Mario Galaxy 2 at 6.
No,
That makes sense to me.
no.
Hold
That
on,
makes
let's-
sense to me.
There needs to be a democracy of votes.
I want to point out someone's been adding a bunch of games on the bottom half, thinking I wouldn't notice.
Wait, who? I don't see anything.
I think Moon's been adding them. I mean, these were games we discussed already, so it's fine.
What about
We
Ghost
just-
of Tsushima?
That's not playing. Okay, listen. Have
Ghost
I
is
made
a
a
good
lock?
game, but
Smash
it's not-
Ultimate is on this
Okay.
list. Where is it?
It is
Okay,
14 right
It
now.
is, dude. Does he ever listen?
He's
Where's
blinded by
Skyrim?
rage.
He's fighting with ghosts.
Where's Skyrim? 11.
Yo,
Oh my
wait,
god, Skyrim's not on this list. I need Skyrim on this list.
Skyrim can be 11.
I'm
damn,
on
Fallout,
Skyrim.
Fallout didn't make the list.
I'm fine
Yeah,
with
but-
that.
Yeah,
More of
Skyrim
us have
fi-
played
Skyrim
Skyrim.
fits.
Okay, if we're being completely honest, we're letting Trails slide, but Fallout should be on the list over Trails, man.
No,
I agree. Listen,
agree.
if we're talking about me, I would say that too. Listen.
no.
Do you guys like Trails that much to put it
Yes.
over one of the most massive franchises of all time?
Yes, because you're already snubbing me on 14. I'm fighting for Trails.
What do you
What do you
mean
mean
stubbing?
stubbing?
I put it at 15!
You have to keep in mind, this is like us as collectively.
None of us
even
ever
when-
played have made the
You
top
are the-
15.
Bench, you are the only person that played Final Fantasy 14,
Listen,
and you got
Wolf,
it to 15 somehow. How are you
Listen.
complaining still?
Listen,
Wait,
we can move
Benjamin.
it.
I would, if this was our personal list, right, just your mind, Trails would take over this shit. Yeah, come on,
Moon played it,
this,
sure.
this is a group thing, and not everyone played this shit.
Nope,
That's what-
I'm
Moon, how
for
much
it.
do
I
you
think about it.
like Trails?
I know fantasy
Dude.
up there is fucking insane.
Moon,
I
how,
like it.
Fine, bro, it's fine.
do you like Trails enough to put it over a Fallout game that me and Dark love Fallout New Vegas immensely?
Depends on
Fusion
how
was
we're
better
really
one.
judging this. Are we basing
It's-
them on
As a group.
the game of the games that we all personally like, or games that we recognize are big and important
Games
and
that we
popular?
like is our games.
games that we like.
Okay, if it's games that we like, then there's probably another thing on here that most of us have. Like RE2 Remake isn't on the list. That's a
Yeah.
game that all 5 of us like.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like Tears of the
I
Kingdom,
never
more I
saw
look
that.
at it, looks fucking weird to me.
Like RE2 Remake is just not on the list. That is insane. to me. I
Spider-Man
think RE2
2.
Remake.
Spider-Man's a little too high.
I think it's fine
Eh,
enough.
Spider-Man's
I-
pretty
I
good.
like that
I
game.
think Spider-Man's. The
I
ones that look
personally-
weird to me, honestly, the ones that look weird is Tears of the Kingdom,
Okay,
Final
okay.
Fantasy, and Smash. They did this sticking. I'm like, what the
Oh
fuck?
my
Like,
god, dude! What is your obsession with hating on Smash? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm not hating. It's just
I've
like,
never really played it.
3
so
of
I
us love Smash
don't-
Ultimate.
Also, how is Wolf Who me and Fusion like Elden Ring, and how is that like number 4?
Oh
I
my
like
god!
Elden Ring too.
God,
I'm not hating on
oh,
Elden Ring.
what is this
That's
obsession?
insane.
I'm gonna put Final Fantasy 14 at 20. If you keep it up.
That makes more sense considering that only one of us have played it.
But it's like
Wait,
incredible.
Bench, you are the only person who has played Final Fantasy 14. You got it at 15.
Yeah, a
Over-
lot of these higher games I
want to point out. I want to point out something real quick. I just want to
Three
point something
houses
out.
below 14
Final
is
Fantasy
insane.
Final Fantasy 14 is above Uncharted 4, a game that me and Fusion adore. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, a game that 4 of us like. Xenoblade 3, a game that 3 of you like. Portal 2, a game that 3 of us like.
Okay.
And Trails, because
make-
somehow that's on here. I'm just saying.
Trails can leave if Persona's number 1.
I'm not putting
No,
Persona
I-
number 1.
I don't think Persona's number 1.
Because I don't think
God
God
of
of War
War-
is the best game of all time. Like not even
You know, it's
close.
But it's not. It's a collective.
Well, it was for a month for you.
It was your favorite game
Trust
for a
me,
month.
trust
and
me,
he-
I understand, but I don't think it's the best game of all time.
Okay,
Yeah, but
no,
it's
and I don't
not-
think Persona 5 Royal is the best game of all time.
We have to keep in mind it's a collective group effort.
Bench,
thing.
you have to understand how unfair that is to Fusion for like the slice of gaming favorite game of all time, and it's like I have zero interest in this franchise. Like that is so weird.
Okay, then I have zero interest in like half the
You
games
have-
above Final Fantasy.
You've played every single
Yeah.
game on this list.
Bench. Number 1 is God of War Ragnarok, a game that all 5 of us have played. And not Dark, but Dark has played God of War 2018, and he loves that game to death.
I do love
Listen,
that game.
Elden Ring's just too high.
Oh my God! Shut up about Elden Ring.
He's obsessed
I
with his
get
Elden Ring.
one, okay. Also, I want to point out, okay, you're bitching and moaning. I didn't get Metal Gear Solid. My favorite
get it either.
franchise.
You didn't get that.
Metal Gear Solid is literally my favorite franchise of all time. I didn't get a
Okay,
Metal Gear
okay.
game.
If you want to think about it,
Listen, okay, here I'm gonna.
who of us here
What if
did
we
not
make
enjoy
it?
Tears of the Kingdom that much?
That's
I
insane.
love
Moon
Tears of
didn't
the
enjoy
Kingdom.
it, and Fusion didn't. And that shit is.
It's not.
Tears of the Kingdom
It's
looks
not.
Fusion doesn't.
This
count.
doesn't look. They're
That's
not fans of those games. That's not their genre.
Okay, well, Final Fantasy 14 is
Yeah,
in my
listen,
genre.
listen,
Not-
listen.
not Fusion, my bad.
Here, I'm gonna
just the
propose
point,
something.
This is our group collectively.
I wanna- okay, I wanna-
I'm gonna.
Bench, I
I'm
want you
gonna
to
propose-
understand. You can make your own list. At the
I'm
end of
gonna
the day-
propose we make this a top 25.
That's gonna make it worse.
Let's
We
just
don't-
get, I
we
just
don't
feel like
have-
making it top 25 is just giving freebies at the end. Like, oh, we
Yeah,
just wanted
Bench,
these
you're
games.
I want to point out, Bench, you're the only one who's complaining. Like,
I'm just saying, we're
everyone else,
honest.
we're all happy. I think this list is awesome.
I'm just
I
saying,
think-
I'm fine
I
with
think-
this list if it sat here right now. Whatever.
The
I would
I
just
have
say
plenty of
that
games.
I would
to
move
me,
Trails.
with this list that looks weird as our collective group list is Tears of the
Can-
Kingdom because 2 of us
Tears
did
of the
not like
Kingdom.
it.
How
I
about
should
this?
decide-
How about this? Mass Effect 2 over Tears of the Kingdom. That's it.
No,
Yeah,
What?
I'm
Bench?
giving up. I'm giving up Trails.
You'll give up Trails?
Yeah, I just said
Give
that.
up
Yeah.
Trails, put in
Okay,
Resident
you
Evil
give up
2.
Trails. All right, what are we putting instead of Trails?
I think Resident
Resident-
Evil. If we're-
Resident
Evil
Evil 2. Boom. That's it. Okay, yeah, Resident Evil. I
the
think
fact
that's
that
fine.
Bench gets to see on Trails is nuts. But okay, I actually agree. With
Other than that, I would just say Dark. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, why is he like? I'm the Trails guy.
Mm.
What the-
The-
Listen,
the
I-
he
real-
stole your
I'm
thunder.
just saying. I
the
look at this
real-
list now. I think we nailed it.
The real slice of gaming listeners know what the real number 20 is. It's Trails, too, for sure. But okay.
No, the real one is Resident Evil 2 remake. It's set in stone.
Man,
I think- yeah,
also-
because we're all-
don't
I think
let-
this is the closest we're gonna get to agreeing because we're all obviously have our number ones. My number one would be Last of Us. There's 7 games in front of it. I wouldn't put over it. I don't
my
care.
number
It's our
one
list.
isn't on the list.
I want to
Rebirth.
point out, Bench.
Yeah,
I want
but
to
you
point
didn't
out
lock it.
that you said like you want to replace
I know.
14 for Rebirth. You can
No,
have
because
Rebirth.
I think Rebirth is more. I think 14 is a more interesting pick.
He
I
said
like
more
14 as a
interesting.
pick because I think a lot of people would say it's like their
It's an
favorite game of
MMO,
all
yeah.
time.
No, that's
think
cool
it's
to have
fun.
an MMO like that. Okay, I think we're all good.
I guess.
I think
He says, "I guess."
I think we're not gonna have a
Listen,
perfect list, and
it's
at the end of the day, it's fun.
Stop. Here's
Roguelike
a
too
Mass
high, but okay.
Stop Tears
This
of
is-
Mass Effect. And
This is
then-
really just fun.
Yeah,
Take out
that's
Tears of the
fine.
Kingdom, put in Pokemon.
I'm just happy.
Oh my god, I
Xenoblade's
didn't
on the
even realize
list
we
too.
didn't even put Pokemon on this. Pokemon.
Listen, Pokemon would make like a top 30 probably.
Yeah, I love Pokemon, but like, yeah, no.
Okay, we can give. I think we should
Alright.
read it out to the viewers.
Let's
and-
read it out for audio listeners. The Slice of Gaming top 20 games of all time, starting at number 20. Stop sign. Number 20, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Portal 2, Xenoblade 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Uncharted 4 A Thief's End, Final Fantasy 14, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Kingdom Hearts 2, Nier Automata, Skyrim, Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Spider-Man 2018, The Last of Us 2, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Mass Effect 2, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Elden Ring, Hades, Persona 5 Royal, and the number one, God of War Ragnarok.
That sounds weird.
That's a that.
Shout out
that's a
Greg
good
Miller.
list. I
Shout
wanna-
out
I
Listen,
wanna
Greg
what
put
if
something up.
what if we switch Skyrim and Witcher?
Well, we already kind of the list has been said.
Skyrim Witcher
So,
is good.
yeah.
Though. I don't think that's like it's so weird. To swap.
No, I'm fine with like Skyrim being under Witcher. I'm glad Skyrim got on the list. Real quick, Fusion, you were mentioning this to me like in private. It is funny that it happened again. How every time there's like the best game of all time list, the best game of tourneys, all this, it's always God of War that wins.
I told you it is. It's literally always gonna win.
Every time.
I mean,
It's-
it's a very good game. Like
It's a
both
God of War
of them.
universe-
deserves it though. It's not
It's
like
a universally appealing game, is all I think.
There's
that
Hi-Fi
helps.
Rush at the Soggies all over.
And it's usually, to be fair, a lot of time it's usually 2018 that wins it. Even though I think a lot of us here, I think Ragnarok is better,
I
but
would have went with 2018 just because I actually played 2018. But you guys say Ragnarok's better, so I'm gonna take your
like
word.
I
we
think-
obviously didn't do the same franchises twice. But genuinely, I think if we could have put both God of Wars on this list.
Well, I would
Obviously.
push back. I wasn't
Ben
a big
should
fan of
push back.
2018.
Ben
Like, I think
pushed back,
2018
that's
is overhyped. Ragnarok, though, that's properly hyped.
I don't think 2018 is overhyped. What?
In what
Definitely
world?
not. It's
He's-
one of the greatest video games ever made.
It is
I
literally
thought-
a 10 out of 10 story.
It's probably like a 9 for me.
That's some crazy overhype.
Well,
Okay, like, there's people saying, like,
Bro.
it's like the second coming of Christ.
I mean, what? And I
even a
think
9.
those people have good opinions.
Isn't that crazy? Man, that
I don't
game is
know how-
so overrated. I hate
am-
that game. 9 out of 10.
I'm kind of upset that Elden Ring's above Tears of the Kingdom. If we're
Oh
being
my god,
honest.
shut up, bro.
It's
The
fine,
fact, that
there-
the fact that Tears of the Kingdom is number 5, you should be happy about that. When the greatest game
You're
of
the
all
only
time
one
is-
can play about Tears of the Kingdom. Like Dark played that game, and he hasn't said a peep about it. He's just like, whatever.
Dude, I
Kinda
love
like-
I'm
Tears of
the
the
one
Kingdom.
saying that Tears of the Kingdom's too high. It feels.
I'm just
weird.
saying that's what I mean.
don't
Like
like-
Tears, like it's whatever.
We're not
It's literally-
dissecting, like, how Wolf got his way. Besides, the
I don't
Elden
think-
Ring. Like,
I
What
he
do you
won.
mean? They all agreed!
I was just saying I have no
You
problem
know
with
what?
Elden
Your
Ring
way
up
most
there.
out of
He's number 1 in the
Bench,
top 5.
You were the one who
Hades,
said,
Persona.
Bench, you literally said, can we swap Persona 5 Royal and Elden Ring? And I agreed with you. And
I know,
there
but
it is.
But I still like.
If I'll be honest, I got my way more than anyone. I have. Hold on, I've got 1, 2,
bench guy has
3, 4, 5. I have 6 out of my personal, like probably top 12 games of all time on this list. So I'm chilling.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
There was no
I'm more-
complaints from me.
I've probably gotten less of my
5,
personal top 10. Hang on, actually,
I
my
think
personal top
I have
10.
5 of
8,
my personal top 20.
That's what I mean. I feel like we.
10.
Yeah, like this list was like good for us as a collective. We're gonna disagree on certain numbers. At the end of the day, who cares if the 6th game is above the 7th game?
I just realized Doom 2016 and Titanfall both didn't make it.
Right.
We're frauds.
This is a
We,
rough
we
list.
hate shooters, bro. We hate shooters.
Yeah, anyways, if you guys are mad at our list, just yell about it in the comments. Give us engagement.
Vince will probably post a
Trails
comment.
knows. Everyone knows Trails is on the list.
I want to know how Bob thinks of that list. He's gonna find.
Bob's gonna hate
I'm
this.
very curious.
Oh, he'll
I-
hate it.
I mean, what? Bob likes
You're gonna be
most
like,
of these
you
games.
didn't add in
Bob
Really?
hates video
insert
games.
random
Where-
racing game 24.
We
Where's
saw
Forza?
the top 100 bops. He'll hate this list.
Yeah, Bob thinks Mass
wanna
Effect
point
1
out-
is the best Mass Effect.
I want to point out how competitive this list is. Halo didn't make it. Like,
Yeah, I
that's-
was thinking about
Come
that.
on.
That's the thing is though, Halo's just good as a series, but there's no like standout. There
Yeah,
is
there
in
is.
some regards.
literally,
there
me
is.
and Dark couldn't agree who the best
Halo
one
2,
was.
3, and
Sorry.
Reach should stand
I
out.
can't
Halo-
wait. Bob's
Halo
gonna
2
lose
is
his
nice,
shit at
bro.
what you just said.
Hey, shout out Kratos, number 1.
And shout outs to the
Listen,
what we've
where's
been
some,
playing.
no
God,
GTA or Red Dead, no Rockstar rep.
Oh wow,
I'm
GTA
fine
5
with
didn't
that.
make it, but that's enough.
Dude,
That's fine.
I mean, listen, GTA
That's why
5 didn't.
the
make
list has
it.
been cemented. We read it all.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fine with GTA. Listen, I got Uncharted 4. I got my Elden
How
Ring
did
at
that
top
get on
5.
there?
How did that get on
That's the
there?
goat,
Literally,
bro.
me-
That was-
it was
that was his
literally a
lock.
lock.
Yeah,
he
that was his
never
lock.
listens.
That was his lock. Alright,
Racism.
okay.
Anyways,
So,
let's talk about what we've been playing.
We kinda
Instead
already
of
covered some.
arguing. I mean, we've covered a good amount of it, but Bench, since you want to be happy, let's talk about Paper Mario.
I mean, how far have you gotten? What chapter are you at?
I'm still on chapter 2. So
The game
Yeah,
is
I'm a
chapter.
little late
I
into.
made it to the town. I got off the boat. That's
So
my
you
level.
played 5 minutes.
so you don't like it.
That's not what I said.
You were
I hear
good.
you don't. You're gonna not like it. You're
I
not
got
gonna like it.
I got off the
I'm
boat.
gatekeeping. I'm gatekeeping you.
The
I'm
game
not
starts
letting
with a
you have it.
boat. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you're going on a little adventure. You end up on a little town. You had to take a boat to get there.
Anyways, Bench, what do you think of it so far?
I mean, I've played the game. I've beat the game, but I mean, this is still just like peak. And I think the graphic overhaul and music overhaul was a lot more than I was expecting. So I'm just overall pretty blown away, and I've been really enjoying it. Like the lighting, especially, is pretty insane.
Yeah, this is way more than a remake of what I was expecting. I never beat this game, but it is one of my favorite RPGs, so I am very, very much satisfied with how they're remaking this. This is pretty much everything. This is everything I needed it to be. Like, I didn't want like some crazy massive overhaul where they changed the story. Just give me Thousand Year Door again with better graphics, and I'm happy.
Yep.
Real quick, let's do our last Hades 2 update because all of us have finished playing the game. We're all like done with it, right?
Yeah, more or less.
I beat that bitch, that final boss. He was my bitch. All right. I'm just gonna say that right now. Yeah, amazing game, very high quality. It was that interesting thing though, where I was doing surface stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, this really is early access. So like, this is where the early access comes in because it's not nearly as finished. But obviously, because it's early access. Like, I'm not saying like they didn't finish the game. But yeah, it looks
Also,
like
the
it's.
surface is my favorite part of the game, honestly. Like, seeing when Heracles rolled up, I was fucking losing my shit.
Oh yeah, no, that's the goat. But yeah, high quality game. Fusion, you finished playing it like too. You're pretty happy
Yeah,
with it.
I got around like I got around like 34
All of
hours.
us are around like 30 plus
Yeah,
hours.
I haven't played it in a few days. Where I've been like, I might do a run here and there, but yeah, from like a story perspective, where like I need to beat the final boss, I've done it like 4 or 5 times at this point. Where I'm like, at this point, I'm just waiting for whatever new content comes out.
I really hope, and I've been mentioning this to everyone else in the chat, and like the game's been out long enough. I'm gonna talk about spoilers here. I really hope Nemesis and Hercules are playable in their own modes. I feel like that's what they're setting up. If that's the one thing I want them to add, that I feel like they are gonna add, that's what I want. Make it a mode where they don't get boons, but they're just absurdly strong.
Hmm.
And it'll change it up.
That'd be fun. Who is Nemesis again?
Muscle
Forget.
mommy
Played again.
and the crossroads. The
Oh,
one that
maybe.
like doesn't want to talk to you at all. She like thinks she's just better than you.
Oh, she the chick with the sword? Oh, I hated her. She kept stealing my fucking items. I was
Yeah,
so
her.
pissed off.
Yeah.
No, I'd be down for that. Multiple characters. I wasn't in Hades one. I want someone who's like kind of physical attacker because like
Yeah,
the
it'll
mage
be
stuff
her
is
and
cool. But, like, I want something without.
they'll just be super
Uh,
strong because they're gods. But they won't get any boons. Nemesis even mentioned
Hercule-
that she doesn't get any
Hercules is a demigod actually.
Nemesis is
Ooh.
a god though.
Yeah, but you said
And Hercules is
gods.
Hercules, so
Yeah, fair. Fusion,
What up?
I want to hear you. I want to hear you yap. Yap about Hellblade 2. I know you got a lot of thoughts on this one.
yeah, you had the then you had Fusion.
Am I the only one who's played it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably the only
Okay,
one who will play it here, to be honest.
Yeah, I know Bop's playing it, but he's very early. Yeah, this was. I know we talked about. I'm pretty sure this game showed up at our top 10 most anticipated. I think it was lower, but for some reason I want to say it was like 8 or something because I know me and Bop brought it. I don't know
And
if I'm
Cyber did
correct on
too.
that. Okay, so
It
oh
was
yeah,
top
so
10.
I gotta talk to Cyber. I don't know if he started it or if he's far or whatever. But yeah, it was a fun time. It was I was not. I'm still like battling with what I truly thought of the game because I think they do stuff really incredible. Like they're I thought the tech is incredible. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. The stuff they do with the audio is like masterclass. Like it's probably one of the best uses of audio in the game. Like I would be shocked if we're not in December and like best audio doesn't go to Hellblade 2. Like it would honestly shock me. I mean the entire game's about audio. But other than that, I've underwhelmed, I guess is the word I would use. I'm not disappointed at all by the game. Like I don't feel disappointed. I just feel like from a perspective of I liked the game enough. And I'm not even a huge fan of the game. Like I gave the first game a 7. Like I thought it was just a good video game. I think Hellblade 1 is a good video game. So the fact that I went from a point where I'm like, but my biggest critiques in Hellblade 1 were puzzles and combat. My biggest critiques in Hellblade 2 are puzzles and combat. How
God.
did we get to a point where 5 years later, not even 5 years, Hellblade 1's 2017, so 7 years later, technically, I'm playing your game. It's shorter. It took me less time to beat this game than the first game. Not by a lot, but by about 30 minutes. The first game took me 6 hours. This game took me 5.5. So I'm like, your game's shorter, whatever. You want to mainline it. But the fact that your combat, which was already not good on any level of any imagination, like you can't say this is good gameplay, took a step back. It looks fantastic. The animations are out of this world. I will give them credit to the animations easily. The credits are awesome. I mean, not the credit. The animations are awesome. Like like they really do awesome. There's some stuff in this game where I'm like, I haven't seen other games do where every battle is one-on-one, so you're never like gang fighting, but they make it feel where like if you're fighting someone else, you can knock them. Like the way the production works is like they might knock into one of their like teammates or whatever, one of their like cult members, whatever they are, and like they'll react to it and then they'll jump into the fight. I don't know. It's just a really cool way to do it, but you're still pressing. I just spammed Y the entire game. I used the Xbox controller, spammed Y the entire game. Didn't think twice about it. There was a dodge and a parry that actually felt really good. The parry felt really good to the point where I'm like, if your combat system was just actually like me having to do something and wasn't so on rails, this parry would be incredible. But the fact that the fighting was basically on rails, just like a way to make it an immersive, like more connected cinematic, it felt like, was a big L for me. And I don't love the puzzles in Hellblade 1. I've said that before. But the puzzles in this game are so laughably shallow where I'm like, why were they in the game? You just wasted 30 minutes of my life just going. They're the exact same type of puzzles where you're trying to line up like words, like Norse words to like things in your environment. But they're easier because it doesn't matter even if you're 7 feet off. If you just hold focus, the game like locks it in for you. Like you don't have to be exactly perfect like you did in the first game. You just have to be in the area, hold right trigger for focus. You got the puzzle. Like the puzzle's done. It's completed. I'm like
Ragnarok puzzle solving where it does it for you.
Yeah, kind of where like in Ragnarok, all your like NPCs and all that, they'll tell you like this is how you solve it. Like they would speak and just tell you. It's almost like that. Even the voices in your head will literally tell you to do something. Like your voices in the head will be like, you have to focus here. Like the voices say that, which I get. It's kind of part of the game. Your voices, like the voices in your head, are always going. But like you're telling me exactly how to do this simple puzzle already. That like I don't understand why it's in this game. I was telling a friend, I'm like, it feels very much that they're stuck in they want to be an immersive walking simulator narrative game, but also an action adventure game, and they're 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They didn't commit to either, and they're in this middle ground where it hurts the game for the worse, where it's like if you would have just fully committed to action adventure, updated the combat, made the puzzles more intense, would have been awesome. If you would have scaled back and said, no, we're not going to deal with the combat or the puzzles, and we're just going to do a straight up, this is a narrative adventure walking simulator like Gone Home or something for 5 hours, I think it genuinely would have been a better video game. But the fact that they didn't go either way and kind of sat in the middle, I think it was just okay. I think, I'm very off and on my score. I'm sitting between a 6, which is okay on my score, like on my review scale, and a 7, which is good. But in my head, I really do think the first game is better in a lot of ways, and I gave that game a 7. So I can't see a way where I think this game can sit there at the same point as I gave the first Hellblade. But there's still so much. There's still like, even today while at work, I was listening to the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is very underrated. I think the soundtrack in this game is better than the first game. The visuals are obviously better being 7 years later and then on the whole new engine. The animations are better. But when your core gameplay loop is combat and puzzles and they got worse, I don't see how I can sit here and say this game is better. The Hellblade 2 was better than Hellblade 1.
Would
So
you say
what would you
it's a
score it? You said a 7?
Again, it's very hard. I don't do 0.5 systems. Like my heart says 6.5.
God. Just say
But
6.5.
I mean 6.5. I'll say it for the podcast. 6.5.
Okay, there. Jeez, say it with your heart. No,
Would you have paid $50
No.
for this? Which I mean, How is Hi-Fi Rush 30?
That is
I would
still
ne-
crazy to me.
I
That
would
Hi-Fi
never
Rush is
pay
a
$50
$30
for this
game.
game. Which again sucks as a way where we sit here and talk, especially me, I praise games like this all the time where I'm like, I want these smaller and weirder titles, but also usually those smaller and weirder titles aren't $50. I could get away with 20. $50 just seems a little steep for a game that I could have beat in one sitting. I didn't. I did 2 chapters a night over 3 days, which ended up being about 5.5 hours. Like each chapter was probably 45 minutes or something. I wouldn't sit here and say this is worth $50, but that also seems harsh on me saying like I tell people all the time on the podcast, buy your video games. Don't pirate them. Don't do your subscription service. Don't do that. Like support the devs. But then I'm sitting here saying I wouldn't pay $50 for the game. So I understand I am a hypocrite, but that's where I am with the game.
Would you say, like, just purely and honestly, it's a disappointment?
Again, I never had super high expectations. The word I would use is underwhelmed. I think disappointment would be too strong. I think a lot of people will walk away disappointed that they waited this long for the Hellblade sequel. That a lot of people adore the first game. I mean, a lot of people like. I have close friends who like the first Hellblade would be in their top 15. Like they really like the story being told in that game, and they really like how unique the first Hellblade was. This game is just more Hellblade, but I think in worse ways.
It's unfortunate. I was hoping this one would really bang for you, especially because I know you were not the Hellblade fanatic. So it did. I'm curious to see how people will feel about this game come end of year. If we will see people fight for it for Goaty.
Well, I have one more question. How was the performance in the game? Because I saw Paris Lilly on the Kind of Funny Games cast saying like he sees no future where this main cast performer doesn't win Actor of the Year.
I thought you meant like game performance, like tech wise, and I just want to comment on that real quick. This game's like impossibly hard to run. Like I'm on a very, very expensive gaming rig, and even I on native 4K, even native 4K was like 40 FPS. I had to use frame generation. I had to use FSR3, which it did get me up to like 90 FPS, which is magic and the great thing about PC gaming. But it's insane how like I wouldn't say unoptimized because the game just looks incredible and like does crazy things, but it is a hard running game. But like yeah, performance Sinua's I forget like the female voice actress, but I wasn't blown away by anything. I know I watched that Paris Lily Kind of Funny before I started the game, and I was like, oh, she must have like an incredible performance. She doesn't talk that much. I understand the voices in her head are her, so like, and that's going towards her performance, sure, but like, there's never a moment. There's usually a moment in a game where I'm like sitting there and the character's delivering a line or delivering a sequence where I'm like, yes, this is like, you did this so well. I can see you 8 months from now being up there on, and I'm sure she'll get nominated. And I haven't played a lot of other 2024 games to compare, other than Rebirth. So maybe she will have a chance, but in my eyes, there was nothing special about her performance. I think she did a better job in the first game.
That is interesting. Damn. Unfortunate. Yeah, come end of year. I'm very curious to see how people feel about this game. That's gonna be one of those long tails. Like I wonder how much of a long tail or like almost like the conversation ends within the week.
Yeah, I'm curious because like Dragon's Dogma, which was very high praise, didn't have any tail, pretty much after like a month. So I'm curious how this is gonna
And that
stack
game
up.
sold what, like 2 million, or didn't they already sell like 2
Yeah,
million?
like
That
and
game
I
sold like a lot.
and like back to earlier, I just can't see a world where this even like reaches the million Game Pass players in the next couple of months. Just, I mean, and it sucks because this is one of those smaller games that I think should succeed, but it's just like I just don't see that future.
We will see. We will see. And Fusion, just really fastly, do you want to talk about Hauntii?
I'll say like 4 words on it. Yeah, that also came out I think yesterday or maybe 2 days ago. It's a puzzle twin stick shooter. Not a lot of twin stick shooting, a lot of puzzle. I put about 3 hours in. Not sure if I'll stick with it. It's on Game Pass, so again, it's an indie that like will benefit through Game Pass, and people will be able to experience it and see if they like it. It was never high on my radar of games this year, but it was a game that I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna check it out. I didn't know it was on Game Pass till last week. I had no idea this was a Game Pass game. This was a game I was gonna get on Steam. I'm like, well, I'm happy it was on Game Pass because it gave me a chance to try it. there's nothing I'm like completely disliking about the game. I think it's a very, very cool art style. But I think the one big con right now, it's a twin stick shooter, but the camera is fixed at all times. So there's certain moments where it's like the way the camera is projected, like I'm not aiming exactly where I want to aim. And that kind of makes me upset. The gameplay doesn't feel as good as it should. But I think it's too long. I think it's going to be probably like a 12-hour game where I'm not going to fully commit to that right now, and I'll probably move on from it. But I think it's a cool game, and people should check it out, especially if you like puzzles, which I know some of you guys are really into puzzle games. I mean, Portal, yeah, Portal 2 was on the list. So, like, I don't think there are no Portal 2 puzzles, obviously, but there is some really cool stuff where you play as a ghost, so you haunt other things in this world. So, like, you can haunt an object that will solve this puzzle, and like, I think they have really cool concepts. It's just not sucking me in enough where I'm like, I'll play another 10 hours of it.
Interesting. Hey, that was more than 4 words.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I like that. That was something that like came out of nowhere when you said you were playing it, and like the twin stick shooter part got me excited. You said, "Oh, it's a lot more puzzles." I was like, "Well,
Yeah, it's very much more puzzle.
It's like I wanted more twin stick shooter.
The combat is obviously more frustrating than fun.
That's unfortunate. Oh well. And that's everything. That's the show. Good show today. Moon, do you want to do outro, Moon?
So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're just around the quarter to E3, or not E3, fake E3. Jeff Keighley's fake E3. So
we're doing a big
sure
prediction special next week. So tune
next week. Oh, goody, another 3-hour show. We're getting really bad at this slimming down thing.
It's been 2 hours.
This is a 2-hour podcast, and we talked about the top 20 games of all time. I think.
Yeah, this is pretty streamlined.
All right. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, especially comment this time, and let us know how does our list compare to yours. And we'll see you all on the next week as we prepare for Fake E3. Say goodnight, everyone.
Showcase next week.
Good night. Play Hades,
Stay to play.
like always.
Don't believe Bench's lies.